Oh, hey guys, welcome back.
Yeah.
BallGame
Welcome
podcast.
back again to the BallGame podcast. As you can see, if you weren't with us for the minute and a half that we were just on, where the stream wasn't exactly working, we only have 3 people today. Dean and Tricali are not here. Anyways, we will power through. Get well soon to the both of them. Well, Dean is kind of just exhausted because he works all the time.
Shout out, Dean.
Shout out, Dean, man. Yeah, go make your money. Trunks is currently out with the stomach virus. So, whatever, we power through.
Day to day.
I'm the innocent bystander, Matt Sullivan.
I'm Ortiz.
I'm Chris.
And we got some stuff for you guys today. We'll start off. Oh, obviously, like the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as I was saying before, Chris just released a video on YouTube about the New York Nets,
the
Brooklyn Nets, and why they're the best team in the NBA. He also released. Didn't you have a Knicks video too? You had a Knicks video a while back. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking about. Go give his channel a sub and go like all of his videos. And same thing with mine, Detroit Lions video from a couple weeks ago. So, anyways, with that, we will hop right into football. And the first thing that I want to talk about is the Nathaniel Hackett firing. So this felt like a long time coming.
Very much.
This was one of the worst first-year coaching seasons I think I've ever seen in terms of expectations as well. He looked like he was out of place, and he got fired for it. Any thoughts on Nathaniel Hackett no longer being with the Broncos?
I mean, it was just a shit show of a season for the Broncos, honestly. Like,
they could fire the entire organization. I think they
would. I mean, a lot of the blame goes on Hackett, but a lot of it goes on the entire organization, honestly. I mean, the defense has been okay, but
so it doesn't matter about your defense when your offense puts up 7 points.
Yeah, no, it was bad. That offense was averaging, I think, 14 points per game. Like, dead serious. That's exactly what it was, something like that. And they have a very good defense.
Yeah, and think about it. Some of those points were averaging were defensive scores. Because Russell Wilson was not averaging 14 points a game with his 3 touchdowns he has on the season.
Bro, it's actually kind of crazy, especially because like some people were, and myself included, I looked at them as a team that honestly could make a run at the Super Bowl coming into the season. Like I genuinely thought so. And I thought that Russell Wilson was the missing piece to a roster that seemed like it was absolutely loaded. It turned out that he was the piece that ruined the whole thing. Yeah. So, do you guys think that Russ bounces back next season? Is that a thing?
It's pretty hard to even not bounce back.
Yeah,
it's just really hard to get worse from here.
Obviously, but I'm talking. Do we think?
I think he has a better season, a lot better season. I think. Once they find a new head coach that fits Russ's play style, fits his scheme a little bit more, they build more of an offense around him.
Leo, get away from that shit. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think, but do you think he ever bounces back to Seattle Russ?
No, not Seattle.
You think that guy's gone?
Yeah, Seattle Russ was left in Seattle.
Wow,
he's there.
Wow. So is Russ washed?
I don't think he's washed. I think Seattle Russ was just that good.
Yeah, I mean,
Seattle Russ was a top 3 quarterback in the league.
Top 3, maybe not that, but top 5 for sure. Top 5 to 7. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. If he's not who they thought he was, and you're paying him, what was it, 5 years, $240 million or something like that?
Yep.
You're in the worst quarterback situation in the entire NFL. Like, arguably, because not only is he not good, you have him on a massive contract. So I realistically don't see what the Broncos even do at quarterback if Russ isn't back to himself next year. I mean, it's going to be a bad situation.
I mean, it's not even just quarterback situation, just situation in general. Not just Russ, but you're tied into a lot of money to a lot of guys, and you're also lacking draft capital.
Because you gave up everything for Russ.
So if you're not gonna contend for at least a playoff spot, it's a shitty situation.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know where they go from here.
Yeah, for sure. Outside of that, we've spoken enough about a Broncos team that isn't even worth our time, who just got 50-pieced by the Rams, by the way.
By Baker Mayfield.
Baker, yeah, let's not spill the
But
coffee
yes,
again, Chris.
move
Let's move that
away.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield played a great game, his most efficient game of his career, and I believe the most efficient game in Rams history, 24 for 28. Won't go into that too much. It was more about the Broncos being ass and not caring about playing anymore than I feel like it was about the Rams.
I'm actually surprised Hackett could fire at halftime.
Yeah. Honestly, no, you're 100%.
That would have been
right.
legendary.
That would have been crazy. Outside of that, though, I mean, I'll pose this question to you guys. Do we think that Stafford is done with football? And do we think that Baker is at least the short-term successor for the Rams for now?
If Stafford is going to retire, then yeah. I mean, what other option do they have other than Baker right now? They don't really have stuff to go and trade for a quarterback. They don't really have money. I don't know who's a free agent as a quarterback, but they won't have the money to sign them anyway.
No,
they
have no money.
You bring Baker back for cheap. So, and he's been okay.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I mean, it seems as though
he's been good enough for that Rams team.
Yeah, and
just to not just be on the borderline of mediocrity.
Oh, for sure. I mean, look.
I mean, low-key, I think the Rams need a hard reset.
They absolutely do. But the problem with that, the problem with that is the fact that if you aren't good, Aaron Donald isn't going to be traded to another team. Aaron Donald's going to just retire, and you don't get anything back for him. Jalen Ramsey's a guy that you could probably get some assets back for, but it seems as though Sean McVay is also going to either back out and go into broadcasting or maybe join another team. So you lose your head coach. You're going to lose Aaron Donald for nothing. Matthew Stafford's going to retire as well. Half the players that you would be trading, you're getting nothing for.
Yeah. I feel like Sean McVay has a future in a front office.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know.
I feel like he could like the Brad Stevens kind of role.
Yeah, I feel like he knows the ins and outs because he's been at the top position in terms of coaching since he was extremely young.
Yeah,
so I mean, he knows the ins and outs, you know.
Yeah, once he came into the league, everyone looked at him as the guy.
Yeah,
yeah. So.
And then everyone gets hired off the Sean McVay tree. So yeah, I mean, you're probably right. He definitely does have a future in the front office, if not broadcasting, because he'll get crazy money.
Yeah,
to be in the booth.
Crazy. I could look at him while I watch a game.
So we love to hear that. Okay, one other big news broke over this past week in the NFL, and that would be the Derek Carr news. And obviously they benched him for Jarrett Stidham. Was it?
Yeah,
it's Stiddy?
The AFC West is just an absolute fucking shambles.
And everyone thought it was going to be the best division in the NFL.
I mean, I thought that. I think we all thought that.
I definitely thought that. I didn't see it coming with the NFC East. We became the best division in the NFL, arguably.
Somehow.
So, yeah, I mean, the Derek Carr news, he's done with the Raiders. That's to be assumed. I don't think he plays another season there, especially after getting benched. I think they're keeping him healthy for a possible trade in the offseason. With that being said, where does Derek Carr play football next season?
It seems like the Jets.
Yeah, I think the Jets are.
What other teams other than the Jets
are looking
for a guy like Derek Carr? A quarterback.
The Jets are willing to pay top dollar for a
team that's a quarterback away. If this was last year, you would have said the Broncos.
Yes,
now they're
I agree. The Colts probably won't go through this carousel again.
Right.
I think they're done.
Yeah.
They're probably going to draft one this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There isn't many in the
the Titans. Does Derek Carr move you more than Ryan Tannehill?
Yes,
no.
I think he does, but I don't think it moves you to championship contention.
No.
I just think
it keeps them in the same spot.
Right, enough for the Titans to do that trade.
Yes.
No.
The Commanders.
Commanders would make
a lot of sense.
That would make a lot of sense.
I don't know. Heineke is apparently their guy.
No,
he was on
Carson Wentz is starting this week, I think.
Yeah, but he was on their season tickets.
Yeah, but they benched him.
Yeah, but
that's
you
crazy.
Just got benched.
You benched the guy that's on your season tickets for the next year.
Yeah, I don't think he's their guy when you just got benched for Carson
Chase
Wentz.
Young.
So.
No, I mean it seems like the Jets is. It seems like the Jets is inevitable though.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that, honestly. I'd love to see Derek
Yeah.
Carr in New York for
I
my
mean-
not fellow Jets fans, but for the Jets fans.
I'm
For
looking at
Dean.
this tweet right now
for Dean.
For Dean.
from Joel from Pick a Side. Derek Carr since 2014 has had 6 head coaches, 4 offensive coordinators, and the 25th ranked defense on average in those years. So,
Real
you know,
good.
Derek Carr gets a lot of blame, but I don't think it's all on him.
yeah,
He's had
it's
a
what they build
very
around him.
tough quarterback situation.
And another thing that wasn't mentioned there, the last 2 years especially, his offensive line has been atrocious, has been so bad. And last season, he played incredibly well. He was really good last season. This year, obviously, he didn't have quite the same season. I think he currently is tied for the league leading interceptions with Dak at 14. But
Yeah.
given all that, I still think a team is going to want to go get a Derek Carr, even though it was a down season, because of the fact that his other 8 years of his body of work. Like, he's been a very successful quarterback in this league. And I think we'll see that again in a better quarterback situation, be it the Jets or be it the Commanders. Either one, I think, works. But
Just a flat out better all around team around him. too.
yeah, it's tough. Apparently, there's rumors that Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Raider, and don't understand what that does for you personally.
No.
I don't think it changes a damn thing. I think you're still terrible. I don't think you get much better. What do you guys think about the whole Rodgers to Las Vegas thing?
I mean, I don't really think quarterback play was the problem for that team.
No,
So
it was everything.
obviously, though, if you do trade Derek Carr, you do need a replacement for him. So, you know, bringing in a guy like Rodgers would make sense. It's obviously an upgrade, but there's
much?
a lot of other
Flaws on this roster.
yes.
That
they need to
aren't-
focus on first.
Yeah, you have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. That doesn't change with Aaron Rodgers unless he could play middle linebacker. I mean,
That'd be pretty cool if Aaron Rodgers just suited up as middle linebacker
that's what,
for
that's
the
what I'm
season.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make much of a difference for you. So it's tough. But yeah, I don't see it with the Raiders. I don't see it with Rodgers going there. I don't think it changes a goddamn thing. So what the fuck happened?
Gallo just exists, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, we have Gallo on the side. over
Anything
here, so
goes.
You guys can't see him over there, but yeah,
Yeah.
Gallo's here. But yeah, so I think that's really all we need to cover about football for the most part, right? Is there anything
Yeah, I
else?
mean-
Any other big news that we want to talk about?
Not really. Just there's a lot of big games on this weekend
Massive
with
games
some
this weekend.
playoff implications. I'll go through some and just you guys tell me who you think is gonna win, and then
Let's
we'll
do it.
just move on. Some important games. Dolphins Patriots is a very important game for the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Jets.
I'm going with the Dolphins for this
No
one.
Tua
No
this
Tua.
week.
I'm still taking the Dolphins. I don't trust Mac Jones.
I'm taking the Pats. I don't think it's Mac Jones's fault, by the way.
I just don't trust him.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins too. I think Teddy Bridgewater gets the job done. It's not Mac Jones' fault 100%, but I think Teddy Bridgewater is gonna get the job
Did
done.
you
this
see
week.
that he's catching shit from Julian Edelman and
Who? Mac Jones?
yes. They're saying like he needs to step up, like he needs to play better. Bro, your offensive coordinator is Matt Patricia. Supposed to do with that. So I don't know. I think Mac Jones is going to be a good quarterback in a different situation if they get Josh McDaniels back, because I think he'll get fired eventually.
Yeah, I think
But
Mac Jones is better than he gets credit for, 100%.
okay, what else we got here? That one right there.
The Panthers
Yes.
Bucks. I'm riding with the Bucks. It's Tom Brady. They're at home.
Yeah, as much as I want the Panthers to win this game, just to fucking see what the hell happens.
If they make the playoffs,
yeah,
bro.
that would be insane.
disgusting.
But
If the-
I
So
do think the
gross.
Bucks are going to win the game. I would like to see the Panthers win though, just to see.
Yeah, you said it. It's Tom Brady. I think it's just that's where you could start it. That's where you can end it. And I think that
I think
Yeah.
the,
pulls
Tom,
through.
the,
If
play,
the
the playoffs
Bucks-
start now for Tom Brady.
Yeah, if the Bucks win, they clinch.
Yeah.
So I don't think Tom Brady's gonna mess
No,
around.
the playoffs start now for Tom.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Um,
much.
The Jets and the Seahawks. Dean's been talking about this game for weeks.
Weeks.
Yeah, he's been hyped about this game for a while now. I'm taking the Jets. Seahawks have been falling off a little bit lately. Is Mike White back? Mike White
Mike
is
White's
back.
back.
Mike White is back.
We got
So I'm
confirmation
taking-
from Gallo nodding his head. Mike
Yeah.
White is back.
We are taking the Jets. Well, I am taking the Jets personally.
I'm gonna ride with the Seahawks. I think Geno has a little bit of a bounce back game.
Yeah, I hope Geno goes absolutely stupid against the Jets.
I think
I'm starting him over Mike White.
the matchup of Locken and DK versus Sauce and DJ Reed is gonna be
That's
really
gonna be
fun to
fun.
watch.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
So I think the Seahawks got it though.
I just think the Jets' strengths match up with the Seahawks.
They do.
Strengths.
I was saying that.
So I think that's gonna be.
It's gonna be a good game.
Yes, for sure, for sure. What
And
else we
then
got?
lastly,
Vikings, Packers, man.
the Monday night game, which is probably going to be a thriller of a game. The Bills at the Bengals. Not really any playoff implications there, but
Top seed implications.
Yeah, I mean
possible top
the
seed
Bills own
implications.
their own. They pretty much control their own fate. They if they win out, they're the first seed. Because they have the tiebreaker over the Chiefs too. So if they win out, they have the first seed. Which obviously that means every game has playoff implications at this point. You want the bye. The one other
And
game
every
that
game
we
in
didn't
Buffalo
mention
is huge.
is the Vikings Packers.
well, wait, we didn't pick who was going to win this game.
Yeah, let's
oh,
talk.
word, that's true.
I'm gonna take the Bills. I think the Bengals. I've been saying it for like 2 weeks now. The Bengals are just due to lose. It's
They're-
as simple as that.
Are they playing in? No, they're playing in Buffalo, aren't they?
No, they're in Cincy.
I'm taking Buffalo.
It's hard to go against my boy Josh Allen, so I'm gonna take the Bills. But
Yeah, and
I
then
could
the-
see the Bengals upsetting.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, this is battle of the top two teams in the AFC.
Top three.
Top three. Two of the top
Two.
three. But can't forget about my homeboy.
Apparently, the Bengals own him. So
Yeah.
All right,
Vikings,
and then the
Packers.
Vikings Packers. I'm going with the Packers. I think the Packers are rolling right now. I think they have a lot of momentum going into this game. They're at home, so and we've been saying it all year. The Vikings are fraudulent.
I actually completely agree with that. I think the Packers are going to win out, and I think they end up making the playoffs just because it's Aaron Rodgers. Like, I think it's that simple.
I like that. I agree.
Yeah.
So that should be a fun one, too.
So speaking of picks,
There it is.
Oh man, with all
right.
these locks we just made, you know what it's time for?
what's it time for?
Prize Picks Party Mix, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
And we back. Okay.
Chris, do you want to start us off? Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins over 0.5 interceptions, Geno Smith over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and Amon-Ra St. Brown over 78.5 receiving yards.
There it is. I have Justin Jefferson over 95.5 receiving yards. I feel like he does this every single week. I have Justin Fields over 21 fantasy points. I have Rashad White over 14.5 receiving yards, and that is my Prize Picks Party Mix.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, well, actually, this clap was very long.
That was
Okay.
long ass
That was
clap.
a long applause. This one, I'm coining a Tony T guarantee.
Oh shit.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? This one is please for my fantasy team. We got Pat Mahomes, more than 2.5 pass rushing or receiving touchdowns. Cole Kmet, more than 8.5 fantasy score. And Jay Jettas, more than 95.5 receiving yards. Lock.
Oh, you got the Jay Jettis too. Nice, man. Love to see it.
Gritty man, let's ride.
Yo, Trunk's got to use this.
Yeah,
thing
he
more.
really
Yeah.
should, bro. He has his soundboard on his computer too that he
Yeah,
doesn't
with
hook
more
up. Like,
sounds, yeah.
Bro,
Like,
he
what's the
played
point?
that moist noise
bro,
for like the first 2 weeks
oh my
nonstop and then never did
God.
anything
Never
else.
Did anything else after that.
All right.
That was the
so
worst.
that was the Prize Picks Party Mix. Praying forward to his fantasy teams.
Please.
He said Tom has to win it all this year. So I
He
don't
doesn't-
know.
he doesn't-
Tom Brady when we were talking about the Bucks.
Oh,
Not Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like Tom. I was like Tom is in fantasy championship. What? But yeah. So next one.
FanDuel Fridays. Trae Young to score 20 plus. Zion Williamson to score 20 plus. Chicago Bulls -5.5. And the Washington Wizards -3.5.
That was
Thank you,
fantastic.
Thank
Great
you.
pick.
Thank you.
Great picks. Great picks.
Thank you.
All right. I got the Milwaukee Bucks money line. I think this is the bounce back for them. I got the Chicago Bulls money line. I think this is a W. Zion Williamson to score 20 plus, and Tyler Hero to score 20 plus. Plus 267.
Very nice.
Let's see. We got the Milwaukee Bucks money line.
Nice.
The Ant-Man, 2 threes. Trae Young, 2 threes. And the Denver Nuggets money line comes out to plus 251. We got there, boys.
Plus 251.
We fucking got there.
Oh my God. Chris, what was your odds?
261.
Oh wow, we're all staying close today. We want the W's
bro.
this week.
I need it, bro.
We really want the W. You still don't have a win, do you?
No, I have one.
Nah, he's one.
Oh, you have one? Okay. Do you have a win? Yeah, you do have a win in Prize Picks. Sure.
Yeah.
The one win. Nice.
I'm on the come up. I hit last week. I had a good week of FanDuel outside of FanDuel Fridays. I hit my FanDuel Christmas. I don't know if you guys saw that on our Instagram. We did a special FanDuel lock for Christmas games. I was the only one who hit. Yup. Round of applause. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's FanDuel Fridays. So
yeah, your namesake kind of sold me. Chris Paul fucked me over. He
Yeah.
had 17 and they played in overtime. He shot 5 of 17 and missed 5 free throws. I
Yeah.
needed him to score 20 plus for the bet to hit.
Everything else hit on mine except for LeBron, who scored 40. Needed to hit 2 threes. Didn't hit a single
Didn't hit
one.
Hey man, that's what honestly you want to see LeBron just get into the rim, bro. Nobody can stop him like that.
It's cool to watch LeBron do that.
Yeah,
But
with
like
2
it would
threes.
have been cooler to watch LeBron hit 2 threes.
Yeah, of course. For your pockets. I get it. I understand. But
Fuck the pockets. I want to fucking win. I don't want to lose. Fucking.
that's what he means by pockets.
yeah.
The money going into your pockets by winning.
No, I don't give a shit about like. I can't. We're just going.
Yeah, I don't
just
want
not
the money.
losing.
I don't want the
No,
money.
the money's cool, obviously, but I'd rather not come in last.
Well, I don't think it counted towards record, did it?
Sick. I wish I would have hit it then.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
Give me the
know,
money.
I wish it counted towards records because I hit and everyone else didn't, but we did say it doesn't count. but
I
no,
thought we didn't. I thought we said it
we
didn't.
said it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
count.
So,
it doesn't count.
Charlo spitting though. 40 points with no threes in year 20 is crazy.
Yeah,
Speaking
it
of year
is
20, it's
wild.
LeBron's birthday today.
Oh,
Happy
word.
birthday.
Happy
It is
B-Day,
LeBron's birthday.
LeBron.
Yep.
Happy B-Day, man.
Happy birthday, the young emperor.
Happy birthday
Round of applause for LeBron.
to who Skip Bayless considers the phony goat.
Year 20, what is he? 38 years old now,
Indeed, he is.
and he's still dunking like that.
that
It's
man
crazy.
is a anomaly to all human beings.
I can't wait-
ESPN doesn't even do it justice. Every time he does something, they say, and he's 38, year 20, but that doesn't even
No.
tell the full story, man.
Nah, to be playing the minutes that he's playing this season too at this age, it's not even fair to him. If we're being completely honest,
I
It's
can't wait
really
till he
not.
plays till he's 50.
LeBron is like the Tom Brady of basketball.
Yeah, no, he is. Wow, 100%.
Tom
LeBron.
Brady's the LeBron James of football.
No.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
No, just no, no. But anyways, yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like the Lakers need to get him some help, but we will talk about the Lakers
Oh yeah.
at some point because that brings us in to our main segment of the day, that being our basketball segment, and we will be talking about one fatal flaw for every NBA team in the entire league. That includes the bad teams. While some of them we will expand on more, others are not going to be necessary for us to expand on.
Because we all know they stink.
Yeah. So some of them will be the teams that are ass, and I'm sure there will be really good ones that we're just like, look, this is their fatal flaw. Like it's hit or
That's
it's
it,
whatever.
man.
Yeah, like that's just it. But
It's just be
but
good.
yeah, so we'll go from the bottom of the Eastern Conference standings to the top, and then we'll go from the bottom of the Western Conference standings.
Or do you
to
want
the
to just
top.
go back and forth?
We could go 15-15.
Yeah, we'll
We-
do it.
Ah, yeah,
like
we'll do
that.
that.
We'll do that. We'll do
We'll
that.
start with the worst team in the Eastern Conference as of right now. They just had a Malice at the Palace part 2. The Detroit Pistons sitting at 9-28, and I think we're all gonna have the same one for this.
Yeah.
No Cade Cunningham.
No Cade
It's as simple as that.
It's that simple.
I do want to give them credit though. The people on that roster, obviously, it doesn't show up in the win column, but those dudes
Bojan.
are playing basketball. You know, they're playing.
Alec Burks almost had a perfect shooting game.
Alec Burks has been incredible since he returned to the lineup, and I said that in the offseason, and it sucks that Alec Burks and Cade Cunningham didn't get to play together because as soon as Alec Burks came back, Cade got hurt, but it is what it is. They're playing, you know, obviously it doesn't, like I said, doesn't show in the win column, but Bojan's playing phenomenal. Killian Hayes
was playing well.
Yeah, before he
You know.
got Dean's cousin, Mo Wagner.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Killian's been playing really well. Sadiq Bey's turned it up a little bit recently, and I spoke about this in my video about the Pistons last week. Go check that out. But playing Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duran on the floor together has changed life for them. And Isaiah Stewart, he's not going to get the love he deserves in this regard because there's better candidates. But talk about a most improved player to completely change your game and be able to stretch the floor.
Complete 180.
It just changes it changes a lot of things for the Pistons to have the versatility to be able to play him at the 4 or small ball 5 and have him be able to stretch the floor. So shout out to Pistons.
You know, he was able to shoot prior to coming into the season, but he wasn't shooting at the volume that he's shooting at currently and with the efficiency that he's currently shooting at. So for you to up your volume and up your efficiency, shout out to Isaiah Stewart for that. And being able to guard the perimeter at a solid level too helps the Jalen Duran is behind you, who's already becoming one of the most dominant defensive big men. So
he's insane, bro.
Yes, he is. So that if that's the front court of the future, I actually really like that idea over there. So going big while everyone else is going small.
The next team is the 10-25 Rockets. For mine, I have point guard play and playmaking.
I have the exact same thing, yes.
I just have the lack of experience with the team, very young team. Yeah. Obviously, in a few years, we'll expect them to be a more than decent basketball team.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to take a few more pieces and more years to develop, but
yeah, Kevin Porter Jr. has gotten better as the season's gone on, but he's obviously not the long-term answer for them at point guard. So
no, I think Jalen Green's playmaking has also improved at points this season.
Yeah,
where he's flashed it.
Like, I mean, he's a second-year player, so you expect it, but he's just so on. He's been by far the best second-year player.
Yes,
he's
for sure.
He's him.
He is going to be a very good basketball player.
Obviously been very on and off. So.
Shout out Şengün too. Şengün's been balling. Another guy that's been inconsistent too, but he's also very young. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it's the lack of point guard play, and honestly, I think that's been hurting Jabari Smith for a lot of the season and his efficiency. So they're going to need a guy that can legitimately settle an offense down, which is why you actually made a video about this, where Scoot Henderson should be their next point guard.
Check that video. Yo, I got videos for all these bad teams, bro. I love the bad teams. I love talking about them. Check that shit out. Scoot Henderson will save the Houston Rockets.
So, yeah, I feel like it's that simple. I think it's just the point guard play. And how do you fix that? You go and draft Scoot Henderson, hopefully. That's your ideal. Well, also, we're going to be fixing some of these issues for the teams, or at least what we think they could do to fix it. So,
yo, speaking of this draft and Scoot Henderson, bro, those Thompson twins are different, bro.
Yes.
You got to watch some tape on the OTs. I know you're a big, like, high school mixtape. You're a mixtape type of guy.
Yeah, that's me.
Watch some of the Thompson twins mixtapes, bro. Like, they're really going to – both of them are going to – they're both so different, too. Like, bro.
Was that the ones we were talking about in Instagram group chat that one day?
Yeah,
yeah.
Bro, Amen's the more like higher regarded one, but this guy Asar, bro, he like someone tweeted about it, and like I did my own research and watched back like Kawhi in college and Kawhi as a prospect, bro. I know a lot of people get that Kawhi comparison, but this dude really is the closest thing we've seen to prospect Kawhi. Like he's gonna come into the league and be perennial all defensive wing, like. Right off the bat.
And
so
the thing is with the two of them, they'll step into the league and immediately they're in the top 1%. Well, especially Amen.
In terms of athleticism,
is the absolute freak in the family. Asar is still a very good athlete, but Amen is just on another level. He's gonna step into the league and be a top 1% athlete in the NBA.
No, I love this draft, bro. Like
there's a lot of hidden talent in this draft.
I can't wait to get all the picks in Dynasty. Not to get the first pick and then quit the league.
There's really really good players in this draft.
Yes, for sure.
Moving on, the number 14 team in the Eastern Conference, 10-26, the Charlotte Hornets. I think they caught a win last night, if I'm not mistaken. Good for them. LaMelo's been good since he got back, but what I think this team's flaw is defense at all 5 positions.
Yeah, I have the exact same thing.
Mark Williams also had a really good game for them last night.
I was gonna say their other biggest flaw was the fact that they aren't really developing their big men right now.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
literally
Plumlee
my
needs to
flaw.
stop getting minutes. I agree.
And the mid-range jumpers for Plumlee are some of the most disgusting possessions I think I've ever seen in my entire
Yeah, he's
life.
nasty, bro.
So Mason Plumlee himself is not a bad basketball player objectively, but like, why are you getting minutes on a team that's this bad when you have Kai Jones and Mark Williams there, who you need to at least see what the fuck they have in them? So that's what I said. Obviously, yes, the defense,
especially when Mark Williams could help you out on the defensive end.
Yeah,
and they're actually the worst 3-point shooting team in the league too. And LaMelo should help that. But
yo,
they
it's
are also
crazy
the worst
though
three-point
because
shooting team in
through
the
like
league.
7 to 10 games, they were the best 3-point shooting team in
Yes,
the
they
league.
were.
Mhm.
Yes, they were. They have guys on the team that,
Can shoot.
in theory, can shoot. Like Terry Rozier, obviously LaMelo back now. PJ Washington. Did you see the Miles Bridges stuff that he's possibly
Yeah.
working on a deal? Which
don't care
I don't
for it.
really got thoughts on that, but
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, Mark
PJ Washington
Williams last
is a
night
baller.
dropped 17 and 13 on 100% shooting. So
Yeah, I mean,
like
and-
he's and on the defensive end, he brings a factor. I mean,
Bingo.
we saw it at Duke.
yeah,
What he could do in the paint.
compared to Mason Plumlee, Kai Jones, and who's the other guy? Nick Richards.
Nick
He brings a
Richards, yes.
very different defensive mindset.
Forgot about Nick Richards
Yeah,
being
so-
there. But yeah, no,
so yeah,
definitely develop your fucking big men. Give them a
shout out
chance.
the Hornets. So
Give them a chance.
next team, the 12 and 23 Spurs got a big dub over the New York Knicks last
Yeah, they
night.
did.
I'm sure we're gonna have more to say about the Knicks, but for the Spurs, I just put lack of talent. Honestly, they just don't have a good like in terms of having good players and like star level players. Like this is the worst team in the league.
Yeah, I mean, they don't exactly have NBA
Yeah, I
level
mean,
players
look
at the
at
current
look
moment.
at like all the other teams. Like even the Pistons, they have Cade. The Hornets, they have LaMelo. The Rockets, they have Jalen Green. You know, all these other teams, they have a guy. The Spurs guy is Keldon Johnson.
Keldon
like,
and Devin Vassell.
like, and
I
they're
mean,
good players, but like,
They're not.
if those are your two
they're not
best players,
marquee-
you're lacking talent.
Yeah.
See,
They're
no,
not
no,
marquee
for
players
sure.
to build around.
They're the two guys that they're gonna have when they have their superstar.
Yeah,
next to
100%.
them. Like those are two guys that are great to have next to your superstar.
Yeah.
But they're lacking that guy where they look at and it's like, okay, this is our guy that we're gonna build around for our future. So it's kind of just Keldon and Devin Vassell are like, yo, we'll be the
Think
second.
about it. That person's going to be Victor Wembanyama.
That you would assume that's arguably what's going to happen. That's what they've been going for.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's no secret that that's what they want this season.
If they don't get number one, I feel like they're a team that would be a great spot for Gigi Jackson to land. I don't know how high
Yeah.
Gigi Jackson's going to end up
I
going.
could see Scoot ending up there too.
Yeah,
It really all depends on what pick they
Yeah,
get.
I wrote for them as their flaw. It was lack of good players, and then I also put point guard play because Trey Jones, as much as I like Trey Jones as a player, he's not the long term.
And then Amen Thompson there in the Spurs with their
Yeah.
developmental system, that'd be kind of wild as well. So
Yeah,
just need more basketball players.
I was just thinking of Gigi Jack, like having a lineup where you figure out the point guard at some point, but Devin Vassell, Keldon, Gigi Jackson, and Jeremy Sohan sounds nasty.
It does. It does.
Like if Gigi develops the way he's
The way he
supposed
should,
to, yeah,
yes.
that's nasty. And like they're a team who could take on a project like Gigi Jackson.
Indeed.
He's going to be one of the youngest players in the draft. So
And I mean, we've seen how the Spurs can develop players.
yeah, right. That's why I
So-
think that like it depends on what pick they get. Obviously, I don't want them to reach on him at like pick 3, but I personally think Gigi Jackson should be a top 5 pick.
I
but
gotta ask, when do we think Pop calls it?
I don't know.
When do we think Pop
I don't
calls
know.
it?
He loves it, man.
Yeah.
He does.
He really
He
does.
does
like,
love the game, man.
He really
Is he-
does.
He's not the most winning. Is he the most?
Winningest coach in NBA
Yeah. Does he
history.
have the most wins? I
think
mean,
he does.
I think he does. I think he passed it recently. I want to say he did, but regardless, I mean, people
I
look
know
at
it
him
was
as the
close
greatest
coming
coach
into
of
the
all
Yeah,
season.
yeah, he
did?
has it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, people look at him as
Yeah, he
If
has
not-
it by like 15 over Don Nelson. Shout out Don Nelson. Man.
if not the best team, I mean, the best coach of all time, then he's the second best coach of all time. So, I mean, Greg Popovich, yeah, if he sticks around, it changes the whole thing, changes the whole dynamic there. So, we'll see what happens with that. But on to the next one. Who
Back in the
comes
Eastern
next?
Conference, the 13th seed, 13 and 23, Orlando Magic. And for me on the Magic, I have 3-point shooting. They have a lot of good players, young players who could develop, but none of them are really perennial like 30, 37 up 3-point shooters. So I think they could use a 3-point shooter.
I felt like that was one that I could have gone with, but since they're such a young team, I felt as though I was going to avoid that at least. And I said that their biggest flaw is which young guy is going to emerge from the backcourt. That's what I said. And I don't know if that's technically considered as a flaw or whatever, but obviously they have Franz and they have Paulo. That's proven that that's your forward duo for the future. Wendell, probably your center of the future. Who's emerging?
Bol,
of course, yeah, Bol.
Right, your front court's pretty figured
set.
out.
Who's emerging from that backcourt? Jalen Suggs has been hit or miss. Cole Anthony just returned from an injury. And yeah, sure, he's a good player, but you want to see a guy emerge there that's legitimately taking the reins of the offense now. And like Jalen Suggs should be that guy, but is he going to be that guy?
It just stinks because they're all three of them are just in and out of the fucking lineup.
Yes.
So
it's
very hard.
So,
and it's also not even just who emerges the starting point guard, but it's also which combination of the three of them can coexist on the court together. Obviously, for your future, you don't want to start two of those guys, but you would like to have two of those guys on the court for you at times. So
yeah, I mean, Cole and Jalen Suggs in theory should work.
Yeah,
but
Cole's been having a good season since he got back from injury. He's been cool.
Yeah, Cole's a solid. I feel like Cole ideally is a sixth man.
Yeah,
that's his ideal role in the NBA. But DeShields ain't gonna like that.
He's definitely as his career's gone on, Cole Anthony, though, he's improved the facets of his game outside of scoring.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there was a game a few weeks ago where he had a near triple-double, and you like to see that stuff. He's working on the defensive end, working on the playmaking. So,
yeah, I mean,
that's really it for
Cole has the physical tools to at least be decent on defense in terms of at the point of attack. So
it's another guy who had a crazy mixtape, bro.
I remember that mixtape.
Cole was a hooper at UNC.
That season when he was at UNC was not fun as a fan, bro. That's when
he played well.
Yo, you remember Trey Jones gamed us off the missed free throw?
Yeah, I remember that, bro.
I was in my dorm room with all the girls, and I was just so sad.
That was bad.
I was watching that game with Big Nelly. Shout out Big Nelly. He should still be here right now. Shout out you, Nelly.
Yeah. What do you have for the Magic, Ortiz?
I put them in the same category as the Rockets. It's just the lack of experience. I think they're obviously in a better spot than the Rockets are simply because they've had talent. And more years together.
Yeah.
Just more experience, but they're still young and still growing together.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I feel like this next one should be pretty self-explanatory, but I'm interested to see what you guys have. Maybe you guys went outside the box because I definitely didn't. But the 13th seed in the Western Conference, the 14-21 Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James's birthday. For me, I have what's been said all year: wing depth and shooting. It's pretty.
I mean, this was one where you don't need to go outside the box. I mean, it's pretty obvious what the issue is with the Lakers, and obviously part of it is also AD health. Just get him fucking healthy.
Yeah, that's what I've lack of AD.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
I also someone, I think NBA University said it on Twitter yesterday. He was like, teams that have a good screener who also has guard skills are very underrated, and that's a really good skill to have. And I commented, I'm sure you remember, Matt, my biggest thing when the Lakers got Russell Westbrook was, wow, they could use LeBron as the ball handler with Russ as the screener in a pick and roll, and Russ in the short roll should be
devastating,
the best decision maker there is. And they don't go to that nearly as much as I think they should.
No, they really don't.
So, and someone tweeted back to me like, oh, well, they use Russ as a screener, but he doesn't even stand there, set the screen. He just wants to slip it right away. So, I'm not the coach. I'm not an NBA coach. So, Darvin Ham probably knows more than I do, but I think LeBron and Russ pick and roll with shooters around them could be really devastating.
Yeah, for sure. So, but it depends on
that's a flaw, I think, is the way they use LeBron and Westbrook on the court together.
One other thing I could throw in there, I think a flaw of the situation for the Lakers is also the cloud of the Russ trade. I feel like that is also a flaw in my opinion, because when is that going to be figured out? Does Russ, nobody on that team firmly believes that Russ is going to be there long term for the rest of the season, I should say. And I feel like that's a cloud that's hanging over people's heads. Like, who is going to be on the roster come the trade deadline? that matters sometimes. So I don't know. I feel like that's another thing that could be another flaw. But as for how to fix the flaw that you stated, just trade for shooting. Trade your first round picks, bro. Enough is enough. LeBron playing like this, come on.
Yeah.
But what you got for the Lakers, Ortiz?
So
lack of AD.
Oh, lack of AD, yeah.
Yeah. So
When AD was playing, they were kind of rolling.
Gal, what do you
When
think
Westbrook
the flaw
found his
for the
role,
Lakers is?
What Ortiz said.
Lack of ad.
Lack of
Yeah.
ad.
Great
So-
choice, Gal. All right, next, the 12 seed in the Eastern Conference. We were just talking about how this was one of the tougher ones to come up with a flaw for. The 15-21 Washington Wizards. And one thing that I didn't write here, but is also a flaw, is Don Wright needs to be healthy, because the Wizards are like 7-1 or 6-1, something like that, when DeLon Wright plays. And I mean, we spoke about it earlier in the season when they got off to a hot start. He's a game changer.
He is.
Every team should have a DeLon Wright.
Defensively, yeah.
What I put for the Wizards was lack of direction, and what I mean by that is you have these, established guys in Beal, Porzingis, and Kuzma, but then you also have a plethora, right? That's the word, plethora.
Yes.
A plethora of young guys that need minutes, with Rui, Denny, Corey Kispert, Johnny Davis isn't even
In the
getting
G
any
League,
burn.
I'm pretty sure he is.
So I think it's a lack of a direction. The Wizards, ever since John Wall got hurt and stopped playing, and it's been Beal's team, have been this middling 12 to 10 seed. And it's just like, y'all got to figure out a direction, bro. You're not winning with Beal, Porzingis, and Kuzma.
Yeah. I literally put the same thing. I put caught in the middle, and in big capital letters, I put right after that, sell, just sell. And it's hard with Bradley Beal now because that contract is so large. Who wants him? Like, who is going to trade for a $50 million deal for a guy who in the end is not franchise changing? Like, he's not going to change life for you. So I think that the Bradley Beal thing, that's going to be an issue for them. But I think their fatal flaw is just that you're so caught in the middle. Trade Kyle Kuzma, too. You're going to get a solid amount out of him. So it's a tough situation for them. That there's going to be a lot to figure out.
While we're
there.
on the topic, I know a lot of people have Kyle Kuzma getting traded this trade deadline. Where do you think the ideal landing spot is for Kyle Kuzma? Just real quick before we move on.
Phoenix.
Phoenix is a good one.
Phoenix is a good one.
I hear a lot of people saying Sacramento should not trade for him, but give him the bag in the offseason. And I just don't. I don't see it.
No, I mean,
I don't think Sacramento is missing a Kyle Kuzma.
no. We'll talk more about Sacramento because I have some notes on Sacramento, because this is when I started going into
Yeah.
stats and whatnot,
Yeah.
starting with the Wizards.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think the Kings are the right spot. for
Trunk said
Kuzma.
the Lakers should get Kuzma.
Like, actually.
That makes
said.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with that. But I just think the Suns make a lot of sense right now, especially with Devin Booker going to be out for a little while.
Yeah.
The
You
Bucks
need another-
could use a Kuzma.
Yes, the Bucks could use Kuzma, but I think Jay Crowder's the better fit there. If we're talking about power forwards that you could trade for. But yeah, for me, it's the Suns. You need another shot creator now that Devin Booker's out, and Kuzma's having the best season of his career. So
I think the Timberwolves could use a guy like Kyle Kuzma too. Deadpool's
The
here.
Timberwolves can.
What up, Deadpool?
my boy,
I like the
welcome
Bucks.
back.
The Bucks are definitely a good spot for Kuzma.
Yeah.
The Bucks are a good spot. I just can't see it with the T-Wolves. I think you already have too many guys that need the ball sometimes with Cat, D'Lo, Anthony Edwards. Kuzma
Yeah,
could.
I guess Kuzma's going to need too much money to be a six-man, but Kuzma has a six-man on that team to just come in and get buckets. We'll talk more about the T-Wolves, but I think that's something they could use. So
Exactly.
interesting to see if
Missed the
Kuzma
whole
gets
40 minutes.
traded.
It's all good, Deadpool. Don't
Yeah.
even
Deadpool,
worry
we're
about it.
doing
We're
one.
just getting started.
Yeah, Deadpool, we're doing one flaw for all 30 NBA teams. So right now we're at the bottom, so you didn't miss anything important yet.
Yes.
But
So for the Wizards, I have the Wizards don't generate enough turnovers, which definitely yeah, and they're actually the second worst team in defending the 3-pointer.
Wow.
So they
Look at
gotta-
Ortiz pulling out the stats
Yeah.
over here.
So I mean, you don't cause turnovers; it leads to open threes. You lose games.
Yeah,
It's not good to
I
be
feel
a-
like the teams that give up a lot of threes, that's always an effort thing, just not closing out
Mhm.
hard.
For sure. Yeah.
It's a flaw.
It's like us in men's league.
Just like us in men's league.
Yeah.
Shout out to us in men's league
Yo,
yesterday, winning by 30.
We won by 30 last night, so we're ready for that.
Still, you
playoff
didn't even
run.
sit with us on the bench. That's how
I had a
confident
hell
he
of a
was.
game.
That's how
Not to
good we
toot
were.
my own horn, but
You did.
I
You
was
were knocking
fucking
down all your
balling
threes,
out
bro.
there, bro. I was fucking dropping dimes. I don't even care about making the threes. I was dropping dimes, bro. Like left
Yo,
and
I
right.
threw one pass to you. Side note that I don't know how the fuck it got.
Yo,
through.
I don't know how that
was
pass
it
got
was it
through.
that one pass that just somehow just went in
Yeah,
between
yeah. I
every
don't
Like
know.
single
three
person?
guys. Like
Yeah, I
three
don't know
guys.
how.
You threw it. I said, "Fuck,
I
that's
had
a
my
turnover."
hands out, but like I was like, all right, I gotta get ready to
Yeah.
get back on defense, and then the ball was just in my hands, and I was like, fuck, I gotta lay this shit
It's
up.
so funny because you were on the sidelines and you were like, you did not mean that. You thought that was getting turned over.
Yeah, I was
And
like,
I'm
I
oh,
thought
damn right
that was
did.
getting. I was ready to pull you. He was like, "Yo, that was a bad pass. You stink." And then I
Damn
went
right.
through. I was like, "All right, Mendez, sit back down."
Yeah. It was a fun time.
Yeah, it
last
was
night.
a good game.
It was a fun time
We
last night,
balled
but-
out. All right, so the next team, the 12th seed in the Western Conference, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and what I have for them is big men play. Pretty simple. Thunder hoists a really like middle of the pack defense with no true center playing any meaningful minutes for them, which I think is really impressive.
Yeah.
And I think if they have a center like Chet Holmgren, that's a top 10 defense, no question.
I just put that, you know how you said for the Spurs lack of NBA players, it's honestly the same thing here. In my opinion, it's Shea, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort. Most of the other rotation isn't really capable NBA players.
Trey
at the current moment.
Man, Jalen
course,
Williams.
They're solid, but like as you said, their entire center rotation is
the big
who?
men play. Yeah, the big men
Is who?
play is nothing.
And then outside of Shea, like you really aren't getting that much help. Josh Giddey's been solid and stuff, but you really aren't getting that much help. So I just put there right now. It's youth and lack of overall talent on the roster.
Pretty much the same thing here. Just age and experience once again.
Yeah. For some of these, yeah, I mean it's quite simple.
And obviously their future is super duper bright with 17 first round picks in every draft from here until 2027.
Yep.
Yeah, I think for a lot of these younger teams, this offseason is going to be the
turning point. Yeah,
for sure.
Especially a
Without
team like
question.
the Thunder, who has so much draft capital and so many assets they could
they
either
could-
trade.
Yeah,
and,
they could
Without
flip
question.
so much and still have so much left,
Yes.
which is insane.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You trade for LeBron.
Deadpool said Ortiz take the coat off, and that the Thunder could have had Jalen Duran, but they drafted.
Deadpool, you're not
Usman
rocking with the coat.
Dieng. I agree, Deadpool. I think
the coat?
Jalen Duran was one of the steals of the draft. We were just speaking
I
about
want
him,
you to take the coat off.
but
Chris said he agreed. Like taking the coat off. You want me to take the
sorry.
coat off?
oh
too?
no, I don't. No, I agree with the fact that
okay.
the Thunder could have had Jalen Duran, but they drafted Usman Dieng. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deadpool said, "No way, it's that cold."
Oh, it's not
Oh,
cold.
it's actually quite the
it's
opposite.
so hot,
It
man.
is hot.
It's for fashion.
Hell
Man's not hot.
probably have the worst swamp ass.
Man's not hot.
Yeah, but moving on, the 11th seed in the Eastern Conference, the 15-20 Toronto Raptors. I have two things. I have one, rim protection. It's pretty obvious the Raptors need rim protection on the court and scoring outside of Pascal.
Yeah.
I just put 3-point shooting because they're currently the worst 3-point shooting team in the entire NBA. Part of that is attributed to the fact that Gary Trent has missed some time. OG Anunoby's been in and out of the lineup, but he's also not having the most efficient season from three this year. So Fred VanVleet, same thing. It's the lack of shooting and of course big man play, but I just didn't want to go with the obvious one there. The lack of shooting is killing you. So
I also want lack of shooting and just help for Pascal.
Yeah.
Pascal's been having one of the.
He's having an all NBA season.
I really
right
want
now.
to see them trade him away, bro.
Me too. What does a Pascal package even look like?
After this season, who knows?
Someone drew up some crazy shit on Twitter. Let me
what
keep
does it
talking
even
real
look
quick,
like?
but let me pull this shit up.
And
real quick.
one way to, I mean, is there really a way to fix like lack of shooting? Yes, you could go get shooters.
There is,
but that's literally essentially how you fix it. I mean,
that's really all you need is someone reliable around Pascal, because Pascal's obviously
and
his
depth.
playmaking has elevated to a whole nother level.
Yes,
Yeah.
and overall bench play. That's another thing that's a flaw for
Once
them.
injuries again.
So my boy
Oh shit!
Caleb, the NBA Facts on TikTok. Go check him out on TikTok. His TikToks are absolute bangers. My boy Caleb. He drew up this 3-teamer. So with the Mavericks, the Pacers, and the Raptors. So the Raptors get Tim Hardaway Jr., Spencer Dinwiddie, Buddy Hield, a first-round pick from the Pacers, a first-round pick from the Mavericks. The Pacers get Christian Wood, Fred VanVleet, Josh Green, Delano Blanton, and a first-round pick from the Mavericks. And then the Mavericks get Miles Turner and Pascal.
Wow.
It's a lot
That
of
is
moving
some
parts
crazy
here.
shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts here.
It's
Okay.
decent. I don't obviously not something that's super
not
realistic,
realistic.
Yeah.
but it was just
It's
something
definitely not
unique.
like it's
I
not
think it-
super lopsided.
I think it works for every team,
Yeah.
but
Who did the Pacers get in that
The
trade?
Pacers get Wood, VanVleet, Josh Green, Delano Blanton, and a first rounder.
I mean, look, if you're the Pacers, you're not mad about that because you could flip Fred VanVleet probably for a first and Christian Wood
Yeah.
for a first if you really wanted to. And all you're giving up is what? Miles Turner
Yeah.
and Buddy,
Buddy
Hield?
Hield,
Like,
Yeah.
which is
I
which,
just-
which are two people
is
that they
crazy.
expected to get rid of in the
Yeah.
offseason.
I just
to get
This
that
season
much
already.
I just think on the Mavericks side, obviously getting Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam's cool, like in terms of top end talent. But you're giving up a lot of shooting, giving up Tim Hardaway Jr. and like ball handling and guard play, and Tim Hardaway and Spencer Dinwiddie, and you're also giving
Josh
up your
Green.
pretty much only young asset in Josh Green. So
Yeah, I
oh,
mean,
it's
it,
tough.
it boils
It
down
was a
to
cool trade though.
That
who
definitely
gets-
is a cool trade.
who gets played alongside them. I mean, it's Dorian Finney-Smith is left, and where's
Reggie
your
Bullock.
guards? Reggie Bullock.
It's Jaden Hardy time. McKinley
Oh,
Wright.
yeah.
You essentially lose all your guard play.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
but
it
I
was just
don't hate
interesting.
that because
Yeah.
him and Luca would be
Yeah,
devastating.
Pascal, Miles Turner, and Luka is like
That's
nasty.
wild.
Yeah.
But
All right,
But
so next team, the 11th seed in the West, the 16 and 19 Minnesota Timberwolves, currently on a 4-game losing streak.
you know, it's kind of wild because I shouldn't have to say that this is their biggest issue.
Say it.
They're
So-
rebounding. Like
Mhm.
their rebounding has been arguably their fatal flaw all season. And it doesn't make any sense because part of your season was spent with Karl Anthony Towns next to Rudy Gobert. And then you have Rudy Gobert, and they still aren't rebounding at a high clip.
It's 'cause
Either
he
way.
stinks.
So, and yes, the T-Wolves do need a new coach. Chris Finch isn't exactly working out, but I also think he's been given a shit end of a stick there with the situation. But it's tough. I put rebounding. I think it's that simple, and health too, I guess.
Mhm.
Deadpool says that the Wolves need a new coach. They don't play to the strength of the guys that they have on their roster. I agree, Deadpool.
I agree
Yeah.
with that as well.
For,
Oh.
go ahead, OGs.
No, Chris, after you.
So what I have for the Timberwolves is getting the production from Rudy Gobert that they traded for. And I know you Matt, you're still the Rudy defender, but I sent this shit in the group chat the other day.
I can admit when
This
I'm
guy
wrong.
that tweeted, Rudy Gobert this season is letting opponents shoot 54% at the rim, ranking in just the 8th percentile, and he's holding opponents to just 4.5 below their average within 10 feet after 3 years straight at 12%.
Jesus Christ.
So Rudy Gobert, obviously,
still been solid.
obviously you're
but
not
just-
going to get 5 first-round picks worth of value out of Rudy Gobert, but I think the Timberwolves expected more from Rudy Gobert when they traded for him. And obviously it's been a shitty situation with Cat out of the lineup and just, getting these guys to gel together. But
I mean, I've been.
it's a lot of just gelling, not just Rudy, but in general, just getting the production out of everyone on the roster that fits to their strengths. Like you're not getting the best version of D'Lo, you're not getting the best version of Edwards, you weren't getting the best version of Cat when he was healthy, and you're not getting the best version of Rudy Gobert. There has to be a way to get the production that these guys can provide all at the same time. So,
Yeah, Deadpool's spitting. He said it's not even completely his fault. He's being asked to do things he didn't have to do on the Jazz, which is very true. But at the same time, he's also just looked
not the same.
less
Yeah.
aggressive in terms of shot blocking and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure Walker Kessler is averaging more blocks on the season, like per game, than Rudy Gobert in 17 less minutes.
Yeah. Trunk said that he saw on Twitter that Rudy only has 4 more blocks than Shea, which is true. And like, I hate that shit because people are like using that to say like Rudy's ass, blah, blah,
Context.
blah. Bro, Shea has more blocks than Giannis Saputo. People aren't saying Shea is better than Giannis, and Giannis sucks. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It seems like everyone outside of McDaniels is unsure how to play defense in the pick and roll with Rudy. Yes, no, 100%, literally. And it seems like not even defensively, it's the same thing offensively. It doesn't seem like Rudy is on the same page with D'Lo or Ant whenever they run pick and rolls, and part of that
That's
is
what I'm
definitely
saying.
due to Rudy Gobert.
That's what I
well,
said,
yeah, I was
man.
about to say it's a lot of like the defense thing. It's a lot of them not being sure how to play the pick and roll with Rudy defensively, but also like Rudy Gobert is a drop pick and roll guy, so like there's ways to expose drop coverage in today's NBA with all the shooting and all the talent. There's a blueprint to expose drop coverage, and if you don't have elite help defenders on the wing, like you're gonna get exposed playing drop. It's
Did
that
you
simple.
say your issue with the T-Wolves?
I did not. It's actually nice that Chris said something about shooting. Timberwolves not defending the 3-point shot, bottom 3 in the league, and they're not taking 3-pointers nearly as much as the teams they're playing, ranked in the bottom 5.
Their
their
efficiency isn't terrible in that regard, though, right?
No,
they're like middle of the pack, but they just don't shoot them.
They don't shoot enough.
Yeah,
and especially in this modern NBA, where you're not defending the 3 and you're not shooting the 3, you're not going to win games.
You're gonna lose.
It's not a winning recipe what they have there.
So yeah, no, the T-Wolves are a mess. Like overall, they're just a fucking mess at the moment. So
it's all Rudy's fault.
Deadpool spitting in the comments right now. That's why they shouldn't have given up Jared Vanderbilt.
I agree with that. I completely agree with that. I think Jared Vanderbilt's and he's been great for the Jazz, defensively, rebounding, all that stuff. So
yeah, all right. Moving on, 10 seed in the Eastern Conference, the 15 and 19. My favorite team, the Chicago Bulls. Before I say my flaw about the Chicago Bulls, this new clutch award, they should just end the count right now. Give it to DeMar.
Yeah,
he's earned it.
Yeah,
most points in the fourth quarter so far in the NBA.
Yeah, he's on another level.
Yeah,
he's doing it on a nightly basis too, like just putting the team on his back.
Yeah, he's just the best.
He's arguably having a better season than last year, but it's just going unnoticed, which is crazy.
Nuts. Yo, the Bulls are still like I said this on a tweet. This Bulls team this year is still better than last year's team. I still stand.
If you have a healthy Lonzo, I agree.
The record. I don't even care. Just last season's team as a whole, because we spent much of last season without Lonzo too. Last season we couldn't beat a good team. This season we're 7-1 against the top teams in the Eastern Conference. So yeah, this Bulls team is better. But my fall for the Bulls.
He said Vanderbilt's going to the Warriors. He thinks
that'd be crazy.
But your fatal flaw.
My fall for the Bulls, like you said, no Lonzo Ball. It's where is it? Playmaking and shooting at the point guard spot.
Yep. I said no lead playmaker.
I actually have the same thing. I said no true point guard to create shots for others. Yeah, it's just straight isolation ball there.
Yeah, I've been talking about this all season. Yeah. It's a glaring hole.
It's been the problem since Lonzo got hurt.
Some would even say a gaping hole.
Yeah.
Nothing else has really been a flaw for them. They're very much average in almost every aspect of the game. Shout out Vooch for hitting a big ass shot a couple nights ago. Against what was it? The Bucks. Yeah, it was against the Bucks in overtime.
That was a really good comeback we had, bro.
That was wild.
That was like my favorite Bulls win since Zach LaVine did that crazy shit against the Hornets. That was a really good win, bro. Giannis turned it off. Dicked us down. I was watching it while I was rolling silverware at Hobro. I watched the end of the fourth quarter in overtime, but Giannis sticked us down, and we just hung in there. And like I said, DeMar DeRozan in clutch time. That's all you need.
You just can't do anything about it. Yeah. You just can't do.
Shout out the Bulls. I think the Bulls are locked into the 10 seed right now. I think the Bulls are going to get into this play-in, and they're not going to be a playoff lock, but like a top 6 seed, but the Bulls I think they're gonna be comfortably in the play-in tournament. So
yeah, Deadpool, I completely agree with you. That's kind of the biggest issue with DeMar. The fact that he isn't good enough to be the best player on a championship team, but his game isn't conducive to being a 2 or a 3 on a championship level team. But I'm going to enjoy the fuck out of DeMar hooping his ass off right now for the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, so got to give the guy credit where it's due. I mean, he's been putting a backpack on in the fourth quarter for the Bulls and taking them home to victories they don't deserve.
I
sometimes.
really do think there is a world where DeMar DeRozan, maybe not the first best player, but could be your second best player on a championship team. Even a 1A, the way
I was gonna
he's
say 1A,
playing,
1B.
way he's playing these last 2 seasons, like, bro, like he's been all NBA from the start of last season up until this point right now. Like he's been arguably a top 15 player in the league.
It's just that type of team needs to be surrounded with a bunch of shooting.
You didn't
Yeah,
acknowledge
which we
Dean's
like.
comment.
Yeah.
Why? What did Dean say?
The more I hear it,
the less I like it.
Yeah, but moving
yeah,
on from the
that's
Bulls.
the Bulls.
I hate talking about the Bulls.
Wait, so my thing is there a trade target?
No.
No, there's no.
I think
What are we
there's
gonna
nothing. Do you have
trade?
nothing to trade that wouldn't hurt you guys?
I'm not willing to trade Patrick Williams or Io or anyone who's young.
And you don't see
for
a
a
reset coming.
It's just.
I
getting
personally
Lonzo.
don't. I think this front office,
Lonzo ain't coming anytime soon.
I
bro.
know,
the
but
front
he's got to
office,
struggle.
like did too much to buy in to this current roster to just sell it away.
No,
like
I agree.
they're gonna just ride the shit out.
They have to.
Sadly.
I remember Vucci Mane had
They
that
have to.
one sick game against the Raptors in the playoffs, and I said, "Wow." When the Bulls, I was like, "Wow, the Bulls are going to easily win with Vucci Mane."
Yeah,
And then they haven't. They just
No.
haven't done much.
It ain't meant to be.
So now moving on, the 10 seed in the Western Conference, playing without the chef, the 18-18 on a 3-game winning streak without the chef, might I add, the 18-18 Golden State Warriors. I
put lack of depth.
Lack of
That's what
depth.
I put.
I put wing defense.
Yeah.
Things we've been talking about all year.
I mean, essentially they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
In a way. Because Wiggins, obviously, yeah, he goes down, and then but yo, I need to give props where they're due. Dante DiVincenzo has been unbelievable.
I give props to the whole roster, man. The
Yes.
past 3 games.
I mean,
Yes.
They've been at home.
Jordan Poole, especially.
That's why they're winning.
They're going. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They're gonna win at home.
Yeah,
I want to see them play a game without Chef Curry on the road and see what happens.
I mean, that was my biggest flaw with the Warriors is winning on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 15-2 at home.
Best record in the league at home.
And they're 3-16 on the road.
You know, Deadpool. There is one thing I will.
3-16 on the road is kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's in. And
no, it's
they
wild.
also lead the NBA in turnovers by like 60.
Especially because they had Steph for most of those games.
Yeah,
which makes it even crazier.
They have no numbers. Like, there's no strength.
So he said wing defense and a center, and then he said if Dante can make layups, he would be a high tier role player. I think he already is a high tier role player, in my personal opinion. He shoots the 3 well, and he does literally everything else on the court. The center part, yes, I agree, but Kevon Looney has long been underrated in terms of playing in that Warrior system. So I don't think that a center is as necessary as people make it out to be.
No, I mean, and we've talked
about backup for sure.
We've talked about the Warrior centers in their winning history so far. They do the nitty-gritty. They get down and dirty in the paint. They set the screens.
Hence why you don't need a crazy guy.
No, like bro, Andrew Bogut. Look at him.
Kevon Looney. He's won titles with them. So
JaVale
McGee was a good backup for them. Like I
guys who get in there and do the dirty
so
work. You're just asking for rebounds and screens.
But
that's all you're asking
JaMychal
for.
Green has been underwhelming for them this season. So I do think they need center depth, but he said I don't think Looney is enough at this point. All the other teams in the NBA have improved.
I
just don't agree.
Enough for the Warrior team.
I agree.
With their scheme and how they play basketball, I think Kevon Looney is not obviously not the perfect center, but he definitely fits very well.
Looney's been an incredible positive for the Warriors since he began starting, and that's something that goes under the radar. When Looney's on the floor, they improve. Like he knows how to play in the Warrior system,
except one on the road.
Nobody can play well on the road on that team, apparently. So I think Looney's the guy at center there for them. Could they use depth? Yes, I agree. But I don't know. I don't like the Kevon Looney disrespect. Everyone disrespects
Kevon Looney's there to stay.
We'd like Kevon Looney. Well, yeah, I like Kevon Looney on this podcast. So
I love Kevon Looney.
Yeah, Kevon Looney's my guy. Put some respect on Looney's name.
Yeah, moving on. The 9th seed in the Eastern Conference, the 17-18 Atlanta Hawks. Pretty self-explanatory. 1, off-ball movement and shooting from the 4 position.
I put coaching because off-ball movement is part of that as well. So I just put coaching for the Atlanta Hawks. I think Nate McMillan's done.
I just put a playmaking as a team. Obviously, your two lead guards are moving the ball a lot, but if one of them is not on the court, there is no type of ball movement on the floor whatsoever.
Well, the thing is with Trey and DeJounte, Pierre on Through the Wire was talking about this a few weeks ago. They're ball hogging playmakers, if that makes sense.
Yes. No, they are. Absolutely.
The both of them. And a lot of that is also attributed to the system and the coaching and what they do there. But they just hold the ball, dribble, and pass, and hopefully a guy makes a three.
Exactly.
That's really all it is. And they are good playmakers, both of them, Trey and DeJounte.
No,
they could do some things in an offense that has movement. It's really just comes down to the movement.
Yeah, and it bothers me because a guy like Trae Young could be devastating off the ball.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't shoot like Steph Curry, but in a similar way to where Steph Curry gets a lot of his shots off the ball, you could do a lot of that with a guy like Trae Young, but you just don't. And
he's just moving. The defense always has to
worry about him,
but it's so easy for the defense to account for him when he doesn't have the ball because he just stands at the
there.
fucking hash.
He just stands there. So, yeah, I mean, of course, off-ball movement, but
it's not even like he stands ready for a catch-and-shoot three.
No, he just stands.
Fucking the hash in half court. It's
He
like,
just
bro, what are you
stands.
doing from out
I
there?
really tried. It's too hot, bro.
It is too hot.
Too
Yeah.
hot.
So,
Deadpool, you got your wish,
I was
brother.
about to say.
You
yeah,
win,
you got-
Deadpool.
I was about to
You
say.
win this one.
It's a shame that they were drafted into situations when they had to be these playmakers that dominate the ball. Yes, I agree. But at the same time, they also haven't been asked to do anything else, and you should be asking them to do other stuff. Like, obviously, DeJounte was not drafted into a situation where he was getting the ball immediately, though. DeJounte took a while before he was actually getting the ball a bunch in San Antonio. So, I don't know.
But then he
man.
was last year.
Yes,
and
so
then
he got used to it.
Yeah, and he became so Hollywood, doing all this weird
Oh, my God,
shit
talking all that shit in the offseason and stuff, bro. Yeah,
Now
nah.
he thinks who he is.
But yeah, no, I think the DeJounte Trey pairing can work. I just don't. They need a coach that's going to force off-ball movement out of them and stuff. So, and John Collins got to be traded. That's another thing. It's over with now.
Yeah. So Ortiz, you said what you had for the Hawks, right? Playmaking.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on, the 9 seed in the Western Conference. They've taken a tumble down the standings compared to where they started. The 19 and 18 Utah Jazz, and for the Jazz, compared to what they were supposed to be this year, there's not really a flaw. A lot of people had them as one of the worst teams in basketball.
This was the toughest team, yes.
And they sit above 500. So, like, it's not really much else you could ask for from this team. But we had to pick something. So I put perimeter defense. I think they could use another perimeter defender. They have good interior defense with Vanderbilt and Walker Kessler. And obviously Mike Conley's not a bad perimeter defender, but they don't really have a stopper out there.
Vanderbilt's a solid all-around defender, but you'd prefer him to be a weak side helper and stuff like that. But I just simply put they're towing the line.
Deadpool said the Jazz need perimeter defense. They depend too much on Vando.
Yes, exactly. They do. And Walker Kessler, of course, when he's in the game at least. Like I said, I just put towing the line. I said, when are the trades coming? That was my fatal flaw because I know it's coming, and obviously half that team is going to be sold off. So I just put when do the trades happen? And that was my fatal flaw for them. So
I had for the Jazz, defense was one of them, but I also had rebounding as a team. They are ranked almost dead last in the league in rebounding. And we see what happens when a dominant center goes up against them and just has their way.
Yeah. I mean, Kelly Olynyk's your center. You're probably not going to be a great rebounding team at times when he's getting heavy minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
You got to rebound to win basketball games. It's that simple.
Exactly.
Second chance points are what kills basketball teams.
Yeah, for sure. The Jazz, I just don't see it with them. Obviously, they're gonna.
We there's a lot more that we've seen from the Jazz. Like, wow, the Jazz did this.
They've.
I didn't expect them to get 19 wins all season.
No, you. I think you were like, they're gonna lose more games than the Hornets lost.
Nah,
like they were gonna have a worse record than the Hornets.
I thought Trunks had that. I'm pretty sure Trunks said that the Jazz were gonna be like one of his hot takes was
worst team in NBA history.
Yeah. And that's why Trunks isn't here. He's fired for his bad takes.
They've already ruined that. So shout out the Jazz. They've been better than expected. Man. But
Just
like
for
I
the sake
said,
of the segment, we needed to
when
give
are
them a
when are
follow.
they when are the trades coming? I
Yeah,
want to
but-
see him
but
soon.
Definitely shout out to Jazz. All right, moving on. The 8th seed in the Eastern Conference on currently a 5-game losing streak, just lost to the San Antonio Spurs. Sorry, San Antonio Spurs, you guys lost to the 18-18 New York Knicks. And I'll get mine out of the way real quick, and then I'll let you guys take it from there because it's your guys' team. But I have two things for the Knicks. One of them is the entire mid three on the same page. I feel like they have games where they're not all they need to, all of good games at the same time, and I feel like that hasn't happened much this season. It's
That
happened
pool's spitting, bro.
maybe 2 times the entire season where they've all been on the same page and had great games. And then also for the Knicks, I'm sure one of you guys are going to mention it. It's a coaching thing, adjusting to adjustments. They seem to not be doing that, and that's very important as a basketball team. They start out these games really good, and then they end up, especially on this 5-game losing streak recently, they start out the game strong and have a lead, and then they don't adjust to the adjustments that the other team makes. So that's what I got for the Knicks.
I actually put shooting as the main thing for the Knicks because there's only one guy on this team that legitimately takes high volume shooting in the rotation, at least. Deadpool, shout out to you because I said this. Yeah, you said N4 spacing. Yeah. There's one guy on the team that shoots high volume threes and actually makes them. And he only recently started shooting high volume threes, and that would be Quentin Grimes. And I fucking love Quentin Grimes because he's one of the best role players in the NBA already, and he will only get better. So it sucks. We obviously need – and Trunks, you're saying, yeah, we need Cam back. Cam was shooting 30% from 3 on the season.
We need everything.
So I don't know what this whole Cam Reddish is our savior thing is with you. You have like this God complex for RJ and Cam Reddish.
Must be a Duke guy.
And they're not them.
Trunks is a Duke guy. He
Right?
won't admit it, but like Trunks is a Duke
guy.
fan. Yeah. Every player that
Why is Evan getting minutes over Cam? Bro, because he can shoot. Cam has not shot the ball well this season. Brunson would average 10 assists a game if the guys could shoot. Yes, I completely agree. Brunson is not at all the problem. It's also been recently Brunson is hurt, RJ is hurt, whatever. That's a couple games. But as I said, my biggest flaw with them is shooting. And I think I hate to say it. I still think Julius Randle is a flaw for this team. As crazy as it sounds, I still think Julius Randle is a flaw for this team at times. Because I'll put it like this. When his jumper falls early game, he falls in love with it, which is what I hate the most. Because Julius Randle is at his best when he just puts his head down and is the Walmart version of Zion Williamson. That is when Julius Randle is at his best. So I don't know. As a Knicks fan, I'm not happy with how he played. 8-game winning streak and then a fucking 5-game losing streak, bro. Come on.
I agree with Trunks. Julius Randle has been playing phenomenal.
I was going to say, he's been like the only bright spot on this team. Obviously, Jalen Brunson has been Timothy at times. But Julius Randle really is the reason why we have half of our wins.
Yeah, I guess I've kind of just fallen in love with the fact that
you hate Julius
Randle.
We
need to trade him. Like, it just has to happen at some point.
Oh,
and like, yes, he's been fantastic. Don't get me wrong, and he probably deserves a spot in the All-Star.
He's been he's been no doubt
the best player on the Knicks.
Jalen Brunson's been good, but he's been
I think
the best
Brunson
player.
is the best player on the Knicks.
He's the best player in the grand scheme of basketball. Yes, but this season
on the New York
Randle
has the Knicks
played the best basketball. No question, bro.
Especially recently. It's not even close.
I know Brunson's hurt now, but before his little injury, Brunson came back down to earth a little bit. Randle has still been incredible all season. So I don't know.
I mean,
I think Randle has helped Randle immensely.
He definitely
become
has.
the guy that he is.
But
now.
I think Randle should be like the back end of the problem. There's so many other problems with this team aside from Julius Randle.
I mean, I can go on and on for the problems with the Knicks.
I'd say a problem is RJ Barrett before I'd say it's Julius Randle.
100%. I mean, you can go either way with this. Coaching, you said shooting, adjusting to adjustments, second half play. There's so much things that go wrong with this basketball team. But I think the grand thing that I put is shooting, and I have some stats here. They're shooting bottom 6 in the league in 3-point percentage, and bottom 8 in the league and 2-point percentage. You're not going to win games if you don't hit fucking shots
at all. We don't really have.
We don't take efficient shots. Watching the game, watching that Spurs game yesterday was atrocious. The last 8 minutes of that game.
And that's where Brunson makes a big difference too, because especially in end of game situations, he's helping you get better shots. And of course, obviously, any good point guard should be doing that. But Deadpool said RJ is so damn consistent. LOL, it's actually annoying. Yes, he is. As a Knick fan, trust me, bro. I feel your fucking
RJ
pain.
Barrett is the epitome of mid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess let's move on from the Knicks. I don't want to talk
Come at me on Twitter. RJ Barrett stinks.
I don't want to talk about the Knicks.
Next team, the 8th seed in the Western Conference. Anything goes. The 18 and 16 Portland Trail Blazers. The Blazers started off really well. They fell down the standings when Dame got hurt, and even though Dame's been back, they haven't been able to climb their way back up the standings. And what I have for the Blazers is rim protection, but also going away from what was working for them. Recently, I saw something about it. I forgot what the exact numbers were regarding it, but anyway, they've gone away from that zone that I talked about earlier in the season that I loved from them. I loved watching their zone. They haven't really been doing that a lot lately, and their defense has fallen off immensely as of late. So I think something for the Blazers that's a flaw is not playing enough zone.
Yeah, I mean, I said the same thing. I said rim protection is their biggest issue. Nurkic just isn't getting it done there. And obviously the defense will improve if Gary Payton ever gets healthy too. He is a one-man wrecking crew defensively. But obviously you need better play out of all of these guys. And overall, I said big man depth. Because outside of Nurkic, it's Drew Eubanks. And with all due respect to Drew Eubanks,
he ain't the guy.
You are not
He's not
the backup center
He's
for them.
not the guy.
So, yeah, I said overall lack of big man depth and rim protection in general. So
yeah, I pretty much want the same thing. It's rim protection and just interior defense. They allow 52 points in the paint.
Yep,
52 points in the paint. It's not good.
They get dominated down low. So, yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about the Blazers. I think they are still a very capable team.
I mean, if they fixed, I mean, in my opinion, this is it's the biggest and I'm not gonna say only flaw, but because every team has flaws. But it's the biggest one that they need to fix, and then they could be a legitimate shot at winning the title. I think they are a contender. They're not a legit contender.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's tough. I definitely think it's tough.
Shout out the Blazers.
Yeah,
420 Blazers, man.
I really don't got much else to say about them.
Moving
I've been rooting
on.
for them all season. So
the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference, the 18 and 17 Miami Heat, who've definitely been better as of late, but I'm out on the Miami Heat. I don't think they're a real threat to any of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, but my flaw for the Miami Heat was just lineup consistency. Guys are just in and out of the lineup too much.
That for sure. I said depth. I said their depth. Literally, it is a 7-man rotation half the time when everyone is on the court, because essentially you run it with Jimmy Butler, Bam, Tyler Hero, right? Duncan Robinson barely plays anymore because, well, he's just not good at basketball apparently. And then, I mean, it's kind of an issue when you still have a gaping hole at the 4 position.
Yo, what the fuck?
Like, you haven't, ever since PJ Tucker left last season, you don't have a replacement, and that's been your biggest issue. And obviously, there could be a Jay Crowder trade on the horizon, and I do think that fixes a lot of your issues. But I still think it's a flaw of
they should
your
just
depth
clone
overall.
Jay Crowder.
Yes,
so
put him on
team
every
could get
single
Jay
team in the
Crowder.
NBA. Yeah, exactly. So
Would that even do anything, or would it just cancel out?
I think it would be like PEMDAS. It just everything will just cancel out.
because I think it would
Jay
help
Crowder
the teams
does.
at the top more than it would like make the bottom teams better, if you know what I'm saying. So it wouldn't exactly cancel out. I think it helped the teams at the top more. It maybe it'd cancel out amongst the teams at the top, but like it'd make the teams at the top more top heavy in a way,
I guess.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. What do you have for the Heat OCs?
Simply just playing offense.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
They're
I mean,
really bad in the half court.
yeah. Hold on, I lost where they were on here. Okay, let's see. They're obviously the worst offensive team in the league.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. They have virtually no fast break offense.
Which is an issue.
Yeah. They're bottom 3 in that. No points in the paint. They're bottom 6.
Bro, what are you doing?
Yeah,
They're
put him on the floor,
they're
bro.
bottom
Come here.
8 in assists
Give him the Gallo.
and bottom 3 in total rebounding.
Come here.
It's just I'll just fucking
Yeah, hand him the go. You're getting tossed around.
5 high, Leo.
Hi, Leo.
let's pick.
He's our Simba.
Oh.
He's our Simba. I just want to rock.
Yeah, no, the heater mid offensively, and
I think mid's an
Mid
understatement.
is an
Yeah.
overstatement.
Oh yeah.
something I also wrote for the Heat was figuring out. At times it's effective, but not all the time. The 2-man game between Jimmy and Bam Butler. Bam Butler. Jimmy Butler and Bam. Boom, boom, boom.
Jimmy
I
Bam
think that
Butler.
the 2-man game between them, you would like it to be more effective, considering those are your 2 best players. So
No, I agree. It's the lack of shooting between the two of them for the
Yeah.
most part. So that makes it
but
just
the lack of
that's-
offense.
That's the Heat. Moving on, the 7th seed in the Western Conference. They've taken a little bit of a tumble down the standings recently. The 18 and 15 Sacramento Kings got a huge win over the Nuggets the other night, though.
Yes, they did.
Ginormous
That was
mega win.
and Sabonis played his ass off that
Played
game.
his
Man.
ass
He's
off,
playing
bro.
through obviously the hand injury and stuff. I said there was one simple flaw with the Kings and its perimeter defense.
I have the same
That
thing.
Yeah.
and that simply, if they could get 1 or 2 legitimate perimeter defenders and Sabonis's hand gets back to 100% somehow, some way, which it's not going to without surgery, they're legit.
Yeah,
Like, I would fear the Kings if they could get 1 or 2 perimeter defenders.
they'll literally like the beam every night. They are one of the best offenses in the league.
In the league.
They're-
Shooting, they have it. Overall, you attack the rim. You have
They-
De'Aaron and fucking
Yeah,
Sabonis. Like,
there's no weak point in their offensive game. They're second in the league in offensive points. But the thing
Fox.
is, they're averaging 118 points on offense, but they're giving up 117.
yes,
Yeah.
and that's
The
biggest
offense
issue.
is insane, but the
Yes.
defense is
Yeah.
the complete opposite of insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Shout out Malik Monk.
Shout out
yes,
Malik Monk.
shout out Malik Monk.
Round of applause for Malik Monk.
De'Aaron Fox is having actually a crazy efficient season from mid range too. He's shooting the shit out the ball from mid range, and
How
that
do you
makes
say
him
it like that?
what
Mid range?
Mid range.
mid range.
Yeah, like that. That's better.
Mid range, yeah.
Mid range.
Mid range.
He's shooting the
He's
shit out the ball
emphasizing
from
the
mid-range.
range.
From mid range.
Mid range.
And shout out De'Aaron Fox because he's unguardable when he's making shots like that. So I think it was in the 4th quarter, he was just making contested step back mid range
Mid-range?
jumpers, and
Yeah,
I was
no, they
like,
went off in the 4th quarter. And
I was
they,
like, how can you even guard that?
they also, I mean, we're gonna talk about it, but I've said there's a blueprint to beat the Denver Nuggets, and the Kings absolutely
I was gonna say it as well.
exposed
I'm
that.
gonna say it as well. Don't even
Absolutely
worry.
followed my blueprint. They
So-
took the notes off my computer.
But
the
yeah, nah.
Kings.
Shout out the Kings. I
Yeah,
think
shout out
1
the
or
Kings.
2 perimeter defenders, and you are legit scary. Like,
yeah.
shout out Davion Mitchell too, man. Like, Davion
Yeah.
Mitchell's defending his fucking ass off when he's in the
Ooh,
game.
yeah.
So
Deadpool sent you a trade on Twitter.
let's see that. What we got here?
My boy.
Light the beam? Question.
The
mark?
Kings acquire Lauri Markkanen and Nickel Alexander-Walker, and the Jazz acquire Harrison Barnes, Davion Mitchell, and 2 first-round picks.
So they don't want to play no defense.
I think, yeah, I'm not a fan
Yeah,
of Deadpool.
I don't like it.
I think, obviously, Lauri Markkanen's been really good, and he definitely provides more offensively than Harrison Barnes, but I don't think the Kings could afford to give up Davion
and
Mitchell.
2 first-round picks
Yeah.
in
And
that deal.
It doesn't.
Oof.
It doesn't solve the problem.
Yeah,
of
it's
defense.
Too much draft capital, and like I said, I don't think the Kings could afford to give up Davion Mitchell.
It's more
Very
of a,
underrated.
It's
He's been
He's
really
been great.
good.
Yeah.
for them,
Great.
bro.
It's more of a
this season.
lateral move than it is a vertical move. It's more of a declining move, in my opinion.
I just think like Davion has not gotten any credit because he doesn't play as much, and he's not the flashy guy of the Kings because he's doing all of the dirty work.
Yeah.
When he's on the floor, he's doing all the dirty work. His defensive pressure is unbelievable. Like watching him pick dudes up full court and stay in front of them the whole time. I love watching Davion Mitchell, one of the most underrated players in the league. Of course, it doesn't solve the problem, but I like the idea of Laurie on the team. Oh, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I mean,
obviously,
Laurie on that team.
having Fox, Monk, Laurie Markkinen, and Sabonis might make you the best offensive team to ever
Keegan Murray, who's
play.
been playing
Yeah,
well.
to ever
having
play
4
basketball.
players that could play the shooting guard
Yeah,
position.
I mean,
replacing
Laurie Markkinen, replacing Harrison Barnes with Laurie Markkinen is obviously an offensive upgrade for sure. I just think
Barnes stepped it up recently.
He definitely has. We spoke about it earlier, though. A lot of people are predicting Kyle Kuzma to the Kings this offseason. I think acquiring Laurie Markkinen is the same type of move for them. You just don't really need more offense. You got the offense down. You need
Kuz
defense.
has been a solid defender.
And I think in terms of like, what would I rather the Kings do? This trade that you just sent me, or wait it out on Kuz in the offseason and give
defense in the offseason
and give Kuz money in the offseason without trading away Barnes and Mitchell. So that's that Deadpool.
Such a nice photo.
You want to see a nice photo?
No, I don't want to see whatever photo you're
All right,
bringing up.
so
oh, word. I know exactly.
Moving on,
the
6th seed in the Eastern Conference, the 19-17 Indiana Pacers, 2-game win streak. Just got a big win over the Cavaliers last night. Buddy Hield hit the fastest 3-pointer in NBA history. Just caught that shit right off the
That was
tip-off and
wild.
pulled it. That was wild. But my flaw for the Pacers is not trading Turner and Hield.
Yeah, I literally said my biggest flaw for the Pacers is
that's the one.
Yeah, I said you're overachieving way too much right now.
It's just like, it's not even overachieving. Like, it's inevitable for the Pacers to be mid. Like,
it's
that's
what
the Pacers
do.
have been for the past 25 years.
I agree,
bro.
but you need to lean into the tank.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They need to reset.
Just be mid.
No, not mid. Be bad.
Be bad.
Bro.
Be very
they gotta
bad.
Be bad.
Be
bro.
very bad. Be Tyrese Halliburton and nobody else right now, and Benedict Mathurin, and that's it. And Chris Duarte, whatever. But yeah, be bad. Be bad. Simply put, that's my fatal flaw for them was literally just stop winning.
Yeah,
stop winning.
Same thing, Ortiz.
Yep,
pretty much it.
Yeah, that one was
the Phoenix Suns, 6th seed in the Western Conference, sitting at 20-16. Have fallen down a little bit recently, but having a 20-16 and a 20-16 record at this point in the season is still very good considering what the Phoenix Suns have went through this season.
Yeah.
My flaw for the Suns is consistent play from CP3, Ayton, and Bridges offensively. And I think these next 4 weeks without Devin Booker are a huge test in that regard because you need those 3 guys to step up offensively.
Yeah, I mean, I put 2 things. I put Chris Paul, which just in general, I just left it at Chris Paul because he hasn't been himself, and he's supposed to be the second guy on this team in terms of shot creating. And I put health because they've been destroyed by injuries so far this season. I mean, Jay Crowder, obviously not injured, but he doesn't want to play for your team. Cam Johnson, that one hurt more than arguably any other one that you could have. And Chris Paul, obviously in and out of the lineup. Devin Booker, obviously out of the lineup. And DeAndre Ayton has missed games here and there. It comes down to health.
Yeah.
When they're healthy, they're still a very good team. So I just left it at that.
Yeah, I pretty much had the same thing. I said it's lack of time. I feel like Chris Paul is what makes this team a catalyst to winning a title.
Yep.
And with the way Chris Paul is playing now, I don't think they make it out of the first round.
No, I agree with you, especially
and
with how
once
the West
again,
is.
once again with injuries, losing Cam Johnson was huge. And obviously Devin Booker out for a whole month.
Yeah,
this is the biggest stretch of the season for them, it's not even close.
100%. The next month will tell you whether the Phoenix Suns actually have a shot at making the playoffs or not.
Yeah,
that will be how important this next month is. So, who we got up next? I think that's really all we need to say about the Suns.
The 5 seed in the Eastern Conference, the 20-13 Philadelphia 76ers. I have 2 things for the Sixers. 1, perimeter defense. Pretty self-explanatory there. And then another thing I have is Harden and Embiid working together. I feel like too many times it's Harden, it's your turn. Embiid, it's your turn. Harden, it's your turn. Embiid, it's your turn. I would like to see them just
our turn.
Work together and develop more chemistry in their 2-man game. It hasn't been bad, the 2-man game between them. I would just like to see it more, I think it would just open things up for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I said perimeter defense as well. You haven't gotten PJ Tucker to be the player that you expected him to be when you got him. Outside of him, there's really no wings aside from Matisse Thybulle, who barely plays, that can defend.
Yeah, Melton's
Like,
a good point of
Melton,
attack defender. But
amazing point of attack defender. But
you need
outside of
wing
him,
defenders.
yeah, you need. I think you need one more defender that could shoot the 3-ball next to James Harden and Joel Embiid. And I think from there, you already have a great team. But to get that would just be a cherry on top. So I think, I said perimeter defense as well. I think it's that simple.
Yeah. I went with defense and lack of size other than Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Because
Yes,
obviously Joel
that's-
Embiid isn't the most healthy player in the NBA.
Montrez is your backup right now.
Yeah, I mean, your second tallest player being 6'7" at your center is not going to do much for you.
Paul Reed barely plays.
Yeah.
B-ball Paul.
Yeah, B-ball Paul,
Mhm.
man.
I mean, other than that, the Sixers are a really good basketball team. Obviously, one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah.
Offense is
Yeah.
lethal
sure.
if they get clicking.
Yeah.
When Tyrese is healthy, I was gonna say fast break offense too, especially recently. But once Tyrese is healthy, he's gonna push the pace like crazy.
That is the fast
He
break
is the
offense.
one-man fast break. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
once Tyrese is healthy, that'll
I
change.
think before they need to trade for another big man, just to have as a backup. Let Joel Embiid get some rest. Montrezl Harrell hasn't been playing awful.
He also just doesn't play much.
Yeah,
So
because Joel Embiid's always in the game. But just in case, as a
No, you
contingency,
need a
as a
backup.
contingency plan for Joel Embiid, you need someone to back him up.
Yes, I agree.
Contingency.
Good
Uh-huh.
words, man.
Thanks, man.
Close. Congrats, Ortiz. SAT words. That was good stuff.
Who we
Moving
got?
on. The 5 seed in the Western Conference. My boys climbing up the standings recently. Y'all slept on them. 5-game win streak.
Still am.
The 20-16 Dallas Mavericks.
Get Luka help.
Great team. My fault for the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, the self-explanatory one is ball handling because they didn't replace superstar Jalen Brunson. But what I said
Damn
was
right.
off-ball movement. We spoke about it the other day. The Mavericks are at their best when the people around Luka aren't just standing around. When they, like we said, they're gonna double Luka in the pick and roll. You're playing 4-on-3. How about instead of standing still when you're in a 4-on-3, so one guy could guard 2 people at the same time? How about you cut back door? How about you set a back screen? All that fun stuff. Just a little bit more off-ball movement outside of Luka. I'm not asking Luka to do off-ball movement because Luka does everything else. The man drops 60, 20, and 10. He's the best player to ever grace the planet Earth. But the others, just a little bit more off-ball movement. That'd be nice. I mean, you're getting phenomenal play out of Christian Wood lately. Proved me wrong when I said he's a liability on defense because his defense has been out of this world as of recently. So, and Spencer Dinwiddie's been fucking incredible for them. Like, he's not getting the credit he deserves. Ever since he went to Dallas, he's been really, really good.
He's solid.
The Luka Dinwiddie minutes have started to even out. I'm pretty sure it's not a net negative anymore. So, it's great to see. Those were my 3 things for the Dallas Mavericks. When I went on my rant, the 3 things I would fix the Dallas Mavericks are Christian Wood getting more minutes, the shooters making shots, and the Luka Dinwiddie minutes not being a net negative. And those 3 things have happened. And look at the Mavericks, the 5 seed in the Western Conference.
You really are a prophet.
They were the 10 seed like a week ago. So shout out the Mavs, man. Could clean some things up for sure. But
yeah, I just put in all caps, get Luka help. That's it. That's all I really have to say about it. I've been saying it. I love Luka Doncic. I hate the Dallas Mavericks because I just don't like that he has no help. So, sure, Christian Wood and Spencer Dinwiddie are cool, but you ain't making any noise if those are your second and third best players. So, get Luka help.
Wait.
Well,
I'm sorry. I just want a timeout.
Timing
real
out.
quick. What do you mean by that?
Like,
What do you mean by that?
I don't think
Look at the Western Conference. The only team that really has a superstar second option is the Clippers. But we don't even know if the Clippers will be healthy come playoff time.
No, I know I'm looking, but my thing is I still don't see it with the Mavs. I just don't. Like, I know how good Luka is.
I just don't. My thing is just
My
I just don't
affinity for the
understand how
Nuggets?
you see it for the right. I just don't get how you see it for the Nuggets, but you don't see it for the Mavericks.
I
It's
see
the
it
same
for the Nuggets
thing.
because your second and third best players are better than the second and third best players on the Mavs. And then not only that,
Are they?
you're 4th and 5th best players on the Nuggets are better than the 4th and 5th best
Are
players.
they?
Who are your,
Yes.
Who are your 2 and 3 on the Nuggets?
Yes. My 2
who-
and 3, give me Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. over Christian Wood and Spencer Dinwiddie. Or Aaron Gordon, because I'll take Aaron Gordon
Gordon's
too.
the second best player on the Nuggets.
I mean,
right.
Jamal Murray's been hooping his ass off.
Aaron
lately,
Gordon's
but
the second best player on the Nuggets.
But this season, sure, yes, Aaron Gordon has been the second best player on the Nuggets.
There's an argument for Christian Wood over Aaron Gordon, especially lately.
Okay.
Right.
Spencer Dinwiddie or Jamal Murray? And don't give me Spencer
Right
Dinwiddie
now, it's not like it's Jamal Murray clearing, bro. Jamal Murray has been okay since he's gotten back this year.
Okay,
Obviously,
so-
he's coming back from injury, but like if we're going off of what we've seen, there's not that much of a gap. Like, sure, Jamal Murray's better, I guess, but like this season, like it's not like he clears so crazily. And then Michael
Jokic is
Porter
saying that's
Jr.
why,
doesn't
Chris.
stay on the court. So, like, whatever. Michael Porter Jr. and Tim Hardaway Jr., honestly, is also pretty close, whether you want to admit that or not. Michael Porter Jr. is, he's cool. He shoots the
He's
ball
one of the best
efficiently.
three-point shooters in the
Cool
league.
He
guy.
is.
Yeah,
Tim
man.
Hardaway Jr. is also a very good three-point shooter. We've seen it the past 20 games. He's been incredible shooting the three-pointer.
And then
They
I
do the
mean,
same thing. They just shoot threes. And then what? Bruce Brown, KCP, or Dorian Finley-Smith and Maxi Kleber. Like, there's just not that much of a. My thing is just there's just not that much of a difference between these rosters. Sure, if you want
You
to say
got guys that
if you
can
wanna
also
say
handle the
that-
ball. Like that's enough guys to handle the ball. Period. That you have
the
Luka
Mavericks
and
have
Spence.
ball handling.
You have
though.
Luka and Spencer Dinwiddie, bro. Like outside of that, like you have nothing.
And how many ball handlers do the Nuggets have? They have Jamal Murray.
Jokic counts as one. Jamal
Right. So
Murray
then
is
Christian Wood
another.
counts as a ball handler too.
Do not say Christian Wood and Jokic are the same. Like in
That's
terms
not
of
what I'm
in
saying.
terms of that
he
area.
said they were
No,
ball
Jokic
handlers.
is legitimately a ball handler where you run offense through him and stuff. You're not running offense specifically through Christian Wood for the most part. You're just
not
not
for the most part because Luka Doncic is the Jokic of
Luka
the of-
Doncic is the
of
most
the
exactly,
Mavericks.
but you can
But
run
they are-
offense through Jamal Murray,
and you can run offense through Christian Wood. Are you not watching the Mavericks the past
I'm
5
running,
games?
but you're not having Christian Wood as a ball handler. That's what I'm saying. You have Jokic as a ball handler. You have Jamal
But
Murray as a ball handler.
my thing with
Michael
the
Porter
Mavericks
Jr.
is just
can
why.
dribble.
No, we can't. But why do you need so much ball handling if you have fucking Luka Doncic? That's what I'm just missing with the Mavericks and everyone.
Because
it's-
every team in the NBA, you need another ball
You
handler.
have one. You have another ball handler.
Spencer Dinwiddie is not that.
He's not a ball handler.
He's not as good of a ball handler as you would want to be your second ball handler on a team, your second guard on a team.
I feel like
That's
being
what
a
I'm
second
saying.
ball handler to Luka Doncic, you don't have to meet league expectations as a number 2.
And
Luka Doncic is by
and
far one of the
also-
greatest talents we've
and
seen in the game.
and also my thing is, all of your offense literally is Luka pounding the ball into the floor, running pick and roll, and then he
Your
kicks out to a
offense
shooter, bro.
for the Nuggets is Jokic in the post,
and then
kicking
there's
it out
ball
to a
movement,
shooter.
and then there's ball movement.
The
It's-
Mavericks move the ball too.
I'd take the Nuggets offense over the Dallas Mavericks offense any day.
That's
Any day.
fair. That's
But-
fair. I agree. The Nuggets have a better offense than the Mavericks. But my thing is, the Nuggets can't be this title favorite contender and the Mavericks no shot.
They-
The rosters aren't that different. And fucking Luka Doncic is better than Jokic.
I mean,
Yes.
that's literally like right there. It's one or the other. You could pick
Just
one.
like everyone else we said on these rosters.
I
That's what I'm
disagree,
saying.
but I
bro.
disagree with that statement. That's me personally. I disagree with that statement right there. I don't think that player for player the Mavericks match up. I just don't.
But
Period.
why?
That's it. Like I just don't. I don't think that Spencer Dinwiddie and Christian Wood are as good. He said, "Chris, you're trolling." Which
I'm not trolling.
their rosters are entirely different in my opinion. I don't think
No,
that
that
those
but
players.
He's not disagreeing that there's not a ton of ball movement in Denver.
I
He-
think the
he
Nuggets
just said the
offense is
offense
better
is
than
better,
the
yeah.
Mavericks. I just think when the same way how when there's Jokic, anything could happen. Jokic could do all the like
Well,
the
no, no,
Mavericks
no,
have
no.
Luka Doncic and bro. It's not like the Mavericks have no supporting cast.
I'm
like,
saying this.
like everyone is so obsessed with this get Luka help shit. Like he's playing with fucking bums, bro. The roster is constructed to Luka Doncic's strengths. That's what the point people are missing. Sure, could there be more top end talent? Definitely.
that,
but look
that
at
is
the West.
issue.
But look at the Western Conference as a whole. Like I said, the Clippers are really the only team that really has that elite top end talent.
I don't
and
know,
maybe
bro.
the
I'm gonna take
Pelicans with
Zion and Brandon Ingram,
right?
man. Like
I was maybe Zion and Brandon Ingram, but then it's like the gap between fucking Zion and Luka Doncic is fucking worlds, universes, honestly, galaxies. Zion's good, but we're talking about the Luka Doncic, 60, 20, and 10. Enough said.
5th best statistical game
It's
of all
just-
time.
yeah, I mean,
It's just people are just so upset, and not just you, Sullivan. Everyone as a whole are so obsessed with the Mavericks losing Jalen Brunson and not replacing him. Blah blah blah. Ball handling, all
I
this
personally
fucking
thought-
nonsense, bro.
I thought no, it's not nonsense though, because my thing is you're gonna be playing Luka 44 minutes in the playoffs because you have to. He's gonna burn out. He's going to burn out at some point. That is going to happen.
Is that not the same deal with Jokic though?
Yeah, the Nuggets are terrible when
'Cause
Jokic isn't on the court, but he won't burn out.
But that's not what I'm
Even
saying.
though he has burnt out.
He
I'm not-
has.
He has burnt out.
My boy.
In what world? Where is he burnt out? Luka, same thing. They've both been amazing in the playoffs. Do
Right.
not get me wrong. But Luka has been known to, and this is just the fact. Go look at the stats. It's backed it up. In the fourth quarter, he starts to fade a little bit in games. Yes,
But
he's been
has
amazing in the
Jokic
regular
not
season.
done that? Is Jokic such an Iron Man that he just withstands everything?
No, but he has Jamal
Both-
Murray, and he has Michael Porter Jr., and he has Aaron Gordon, who, if necessary, they will give you more
Right,
help.
and the
than
Mavericks.
Christian Wood is getting his buckets specifically, for the most part, through Luka Doncic.
That's so not true. That's so not true, Matt.
I guarantee you
past
more than
five-
75 to 80%.
I'm sure a
his
lot of
buckets
them
are
are
assists.
because they're on the same. They're on the court together.
And his-
Yes,
and
and the
Luka's
same
usage
could be
rate
said for
is-
the guys on the fucking Nuggets. They get their buckets because they play with Jokic, bro. Like, what are you trying to say? Both of these guys make life easier and get open buckets for their teammates. Obviously, bro. That's Catherine right there.
Obviously.
Right. So what are you saying?
But I'm saying
Christian
outside
Wood-
of the Luka
Christian Wood,
creation,
since he's been a starter, has been incredible. Christian Wood, since he's been a starter, has arguably, and it's only a short sample size, so I'm not gonna get carried away. It's only 6 games, but Christian Wood over this 6-game stretch of being a starter has been better than anyone on the Nuggets as the supporting cast.
okay,
other
but
than Jokic.
what I am saying is I am taking Michael Porter Jr. or Jamal Murray to create their own shot over Christian Wood. That makes a difference.
Jamal
I
Murray,
will
sure.
give the
Michael
ball-
Porter Jr. I don't know
I
where
don't-
where you're getting this Michael Porter Jr. shot creation thing, but like he doesn't do that no more. He can't create his own shot. He's a spot up shooter, bro.
It's still in the tank. We'll
Where?
see. He's got to just stay healthy. That's the biggest.
Have you-
issue.
I
have
haven't
talked to
seen
Michael
it.
Porter
Yeah, I haven't
Jr.?
seen it.
It's
He's
still
a
in the
spot,
tank.
and he's a great spot up 3-point shooter at that. One of the best in the league, 100%. Shout out Michael Porter Jr. But self creation is crazy for Michael
So-
Porter Jr.
I just don't see it with the Mavs. Of course, they can make a run because they have fucking Luka, but like I think they're a second round exit at best. Personally, that's just me though. If they prove me wrong, they prove me wrong. But
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't get how people, not just you, people, the whole basketball community could have the Nuggets as a
Ooh.
contender and the Mavericks not. Obviously, the Nuggets probably do have the better supporting cast.
I don't
But-
hate that. What Deadpool said.
MPJ
said MPJ
equals
is Cam
Cam
Johnson.
Johnson. I'm taking Cam Johnson over Michael Porter.
Right,
Jr.
Cam Johnson doesn't create for himself either.
But he'll attack a closeout better than almost anyone. Cam Johnson is
Right.
very good at that. And same thing, Michael Porter Jr. is very good at attacking the closeout as well. Just guys on
And
the
the
Mavs, I'm not
Mavericks,
trusting a lot
They
of them to
have
attack
been
the
doing
closeout.
that over since the Mavericks have been good over their last 10. They've been attacking close. They've been playing more basketball. They've been attacking closeouts. They've been having
I need to
Christian
see
Wood
it.
do things outside of Luka Doncic. They've had Spencer Dinwiddie play incredible outside of Luka Doncic, creating shots for him.
I do
Like
not
I'm all for. You could say the Nuggets are better, but to be out here saying that, like, and obviously in the 60-20-10 game and all these triple doubles, it looks like Luka's doing everything on his own. But like that's just so not the case, bro. It's just so not the case. Christian Wood and Spencer Dinwiddie have been incredible. And like I said, arguably better than the Nuggets top supporting cast in Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray, especially Jamal Murray, bro. Like Jamal Murray's been okay hooping lately, but like in the season in totality, it's not crazy to say that Spencer Dinwiddie's had a better season than him. Simple. Okay, moving on.
Well, hold on. For the Mavs, I have a big men and rebounding.
They could
that's-
use some
They could-
rebounding.
Yup.
They could definitely use that. For
There's
sure.
that.
There we go.
That was fun.
And before we move on, at least Luka Doncic, you can't expose him on defense. And I'll leave it at that. Fuck, man. Fuck Jokic. I fucking hate him. I hate you, Jokic.
Just continue putting
The
Luka
four-
in actions, man. He'll get tired out.
Same thing for the other guy.
Yeah, obviously.
And it's
Jokic has
even
been-
worse. And it's
yeah.
even worse for the other guy.
Literally last playoff series, he got burnt down.
And the defenders
No,
around
he
him are
literally
even worse.
didn't. He averaged like 34, 13 and 11? Or
Yeah,
some
but we're
shit?
going to talk about the way you said Luka got his numbers too, but you talk about he burns out in the fourth quarter. It was
Jokic
the same thing for
didn't.
Jokic in that playoff series last year, bro. He was like, I don't know what the numbers say, but like we watched those games. Like he was obviously
was
fucking
gassed,
gassed
bro.
by the
He
end of
was-
those games. Like we all, and obviously playing against Draymond Green is gonna do that to you. Like he's one of the best ever, but like, you got what is the saying? You gotta call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, for that.
Didn't the Mavs get swept by those same Warriors?
The Mavs were in the conference finals.
Yeah. But it just so happened that the Nuggets happened to play those same Warriors in the first round. But the Mavs got swept by them anyway. I'm just saying.
But that's
It's
the Mavs.
matchups.
But that's the Mavs with Jalen Brunson, the All-Star.
You're
Yeah.
damn
The
right
super
it is.
megastar.
You're damn right it
Bro.
is because that makes
Get
a
out
big
of here.
fucking difference.
The Mavs went to the conference finals. The Nuggets got first round. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, against the same team.
Okay.
I feel like going farther. I feel like does
Going
a little
further,
bit more.
that definitely is.
Of
going
course.
right. So
But like
what-
you got swept by the same team that the Nuggets took what was it? 1 or 2?
one game. They
Wow.
took one game from them.
More than the Nuggets did.
Congrats.
But the
I mean,
Nu-
more
but
than
the
the Mavs
Mavericks
did.
went to the conference final. The Mavericks won more playoff games than the Nuggets. Like, what are you arguing?
I'm just saying.
Luka played what? A minimum of 8 games.
I'm
Mo-
just saying they got swept. Just putting that out there.
Okay.
You're weird for that.
Yeah,
but
that was odd.
the Cavaliers are the 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, 22-14. The Cavs need wing depth and creation at the wing position.
Yeah, I mean, you need a shooter. You need a 3-and-D wing. I put it that simply.
That was right. I mean, they were playing, the champions. So I mean,
They were, but like,
Both teams play the champion.
Both
That's
teams,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. Yeah, both teams play the champion. So, but yeah,
But
no.
Luka just went
Cavs.
farther,
Well,
and
because
more
one
games.
ran into the fucking champions
well, they both ran the champions.
earlier
Yeah,
than the other. But
should have been better.
we move.
Jokic
Um,
shouldn't have got burnt out. Should have just played better.
Same goes for Luka. But that's where help comes in too. So, I mean, of course they had Jalen Brunson, but Jalen Brunson still wasn't enough help by himself either. I thought personally, if you got Christian Wood, kept Jalen Brunson and had Spencer Dinwiddie, I would have put you in championship consideration, honest to God. But losing Jalen Brunson makes that big of a difference, I think. It makes you from a team that can make the conference finals to possibly the finals to I think you're a second round exit now. So that's just
I
me
still don't see
personally.
all this fucking hype behind Jalen Brunson. I don't understand it.
player.
Like as I just said, I think
Perennial
it's the
also.
difference of getting Christian Wood and adding him to that, having Jalen Brunson. You added Christian Wood and lost Jalen Brunson. I thought that was essentially you're kind of getting a little bit worse, in my personal opinion. If you keep Jalen Brunson and you add Christian Wood to that team with Spencer Dinwiddie, now I'm talking about a team that has 4 arguably legitimate shot creators instead of but again, as I said, Christian Wood isn't a guy that's going to dribble the ball and run a pick
I
and roll.
think
And
the
stuff like
Mavericks
that.
are better with Christian Wood because Christian Wood gives them a different look, a big man scorer and a pick and roll partner for Luka that they didn't have in the past. And yes, Jalen Brunson's gone. I understand. I'm so sad Jalen Brunson's gone because he is a fucking superstar. He's top 10 in the league. But
Nobody said that. Some guys just
no,
work well
I'm
with a
saying
superstar.
it. He's fucking top 10.
No, but nobody's saying that.
No, but not nobody.
No, but
I'm saying,
but
Jalen Brunson's
I know
top
you're
10.
obviously you're trolling for that, and that's okay.
But so you get Christian Wood to fill the void of a nothing as a pick and roll and a post scorer and a shot blocker for Luka Doncic, while also I know, like I said many times, Spencer Dinwiddie is no Jalen Brunson, but you're giving a guy like Spencer Dinwiddie a larger role because Jalen Brunson's gone.
it would have been perfect
and
if
he's
he was your
been-
sixth man, though.
Right, but the
they're
thing is,
legitimate
Jalen
six-man.
Brunson's gone, bro, and we are almost 40 games into the fucking season, bro.
It's
And
no
not
longer a
just
what if.
you, like the whole fucking basketball community needs to fucking get over the fact that Jalen Brunson is not on the Mavericks, bro.
It's no
Like,
longer a what if at this point.
Oh no! I'm not. I'm just stating.
Like,
I'm calling it as I see it.
I
I'm
know,
just saying
right,
what I
right.
see.
Obviously, if you had it another all-star guard instead of not having another all-star guard,
You're better. Yes,
right.
That's why I said
fucking
they would be a
obvious. That's common
championship
sense.
contender.
Right. We know that. We know that. I'm saying though, like I think
That's what
this
understood
team
don't have
is
to be
better
said.
because you still have a secondary ball handler next to Luka Doncic. Again, he's no Jalen Brunson, but Spencer Dinwiddie is very, very good at this sport, and he's very underrated for some reason because people just don't like think Luka has nothing next to him and no one who could dribble next to him. When that's not the case, Spencer Dinwiddie is very good. While you're also adding a big man who could stretch the floor, who could score inside, who could be a pick and roll partner, who could get his own shot, and who's also a shot blocker. That's why I think the Mavericks are really good. They could do different things. Obviously, when you look at it, it's just Luka. But the team can do other things outside of Luka. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been exceptional this season. Ever since I fucking went on a rampage about Tim Hardaway Jr., he's been phenomenal. And they are doing this 5-game win streak, 7-3 over their last 10, with no Dorian Finney-Smith and no Maxi Kleber. Those guys are guys that are just going to help you be better. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the Cavs need wings.
Yeah, wing.
Yeah.
3-and-D wings.
You agree, Ortiz?
3-and-D wings.
Yeah, I just put a need to score the ball more. Obviously, it doesn't really fucking matter when you're the best defense in the league by 3 points.
No, it matters.
I mean,
It definitely matters.
but
it matters less. So
it matters a
when you're
lot
that good.
less. They're also, I didn't know this. I found this out yesterday. They're not generating steals or blocks. They're actually bottom 5 in both for some reason. But that's just
It just
perimeter. That's
works.
just perimeter defense. That I actually put in parentheses. Not major because top defense in NBA.
Yeah.
So
the Cavs
as
could
I
also
said-
use more consistency. The Cavs go on a win streak, then they go on a losing streak.
Yep. Sounds like the Knicks,
Cavs
except
need
to
a guy like
worse extent.
Wiggins. Cavs, yeah. Wiggins would be
Yeah,
a nice
I mean, of
fit back in
course,
Cleveland.
Wiggins would fit perfectly there. I feel like every team would need a Wiggins, but yeah, no,
Or
a
a
3-and-D,
Rudy Gay.
a 3-and-D wing, for the Cavs.
Every team could use a Rudy
is
Gay.
what they could use, I think. So that's their fatal flaw.
The 4 seed in the West, the Los Angeles Clippers. The Los Angeles Clippers need a point guard who could shoot the 3 ball consistently while also playmaking. I don't think, like, if there has to be a flaw on this team, I don't think Reggie Jackson and John Wall are good enough at the point guard position. And also, they need a big man who is switchable.
Yeah.
So you don't have to play super small when Zubac can't play, but also Zubac can't play sometimes. A big who could play like small ball 5, who's not Marcus Morris.
I mean, Robert Covington can kind of fit. He's 6'7",
Robert Covington
but
stinks.
well, yeah, but
People
he's
like
still
the idea of Robert Covington, but he's not
but
good
not
at
the
basketball.
actual basketball player. Yeah, I mean that
Yeah.
works in some ways, but I just put health in the end. I put get your 2 guys, and I feel like it is a cop out because it is obviously, but if you get Paul George and Kawhi Leonard to play, they've been great.
I mean, I have the same exact thing. It's no point guard play and no. You need to have your 2 superstars playing at the same time together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once they develop chemistry together again and start rolling, obviously the Clippers are one
Yeah, I
of the
mean the
deepest teams
Clippers
in the NBA.
the Clippers should be the favorites out the West.
Yeah, I mean they've been doing this with their starting players not playing as much. Kawhi has looked better past couple games.
Yes, he has definitely looked a lot better. Looks
from
like he's
what
getting
from
his
what we
legs
start.
under him.
Yeah, this is exactly what I said. Once Kawhi gets his legs under him, he'll be good. And, and he's been good.
He'll be good.
He's been good.
Yeah, he was really good last night. They lost, but
Malcolm Brogdon
26 on 11 of 18, I think, or something like that. So they need a Malcolm Brogdon. Perfect. Yeah, 100%. But Malcolm Brogdon is on another team that we'll mention in a few.
The Bucks, the 3 seed in the East, they're 22-12. The Bucks need Middleton health.
Middleton health is a good one.
Yeah, I put surprisingly I put wing defense. Obviously Middleton health, yes. I also put wing defense because essentially outside of, I mean, Wesley Matthews, Drew Holiday, yes, he could do all of that, but you'd like to not always force him to be guarding the bigger wings on a nightly basis too. And of course, Wesley Matthews can do that, but he's also only 6'4". He's another guy. You don't want to have him on the bigger wings on a nightly basis. This is where Jay Crowder, I think, would come in perfectly for this team because, well, the PJ Tucker role when they won the title, when they won the title was to stop the bigger wings and be able to play them man to man and stuff like that. So I think that's really it. I think it's perimeter defense. And as you said, yes, the Chris Middleton health. So
the three. Wait,
that's for your team.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't say mine. I said Chris Middleton health and for them to hit their fucking free throws, man. Bottom 3 in the league.
Yeah, Giannis ain't really making them this year.
Hit your shots, kid. They're free. They're free throws
free for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah, the 3 seed in the West, the 21-13 Memphis Grizzlies. I put self-creation outside of John Bain. No one crazy, but just a guy to come off their bench who could get a bucket.
Yeah, I put the same thing. I said who's creating their shot outside of Ja and Desmond Bain. There's nobody else on this roster that's capable of doing that at the current moment.
You guys gonna like this one. So this team doesn't really have many flaws. Like no flaws whatsoever.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
I don't think they need much more playmaking besides for Ja, or obviously every team could use something more.
Their half-court offense isn't the best. This is true. That's what we're saying. Yeah, another shot creator. I get it. Obviously, they're very good on the defensive side of the ball. They rebound well. There's all the stats back up that they can do pretty much everything. But when you watch the games, it is very reliant on Ja Morant in a similar vein. And then obviously Desmond Bain to create his own shot as well. Dillon Brooks can do it, but he's just taking the fucking dumbest shots in the world sometimes. Like Dillon Brooks, you'd be watching him and then you think to yourself, why is this dude shooting a Steph Curry shot? Like when the fuck did he have the ability to start doing shit like that? All teams have to do is what the Warriors did against them. Yes, that's very true. Guard everyone and let Ja do his thing. Yeah, I mean, exactly. You're putting it on the money, Deadpool.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Ja can do his thing. And Desmond Bain is
But if you
better.
take everything away and let Ja do his thing, what else are you getting out of that? None of your guys are going to get in a rhythm. This is DeShields' thing. What does he say? This was a whole argument in the group chat with DeShields where he was like, fuck. You said always go out a mismatch, like whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he said that you shouldn't do it every single possession because then it takes your teammates from getting into a rhythm. That is in a similar vein. But like Ja's not scoring 100 points. And if you let Ja do his thing, the other guys aren't going to get going. So it's exactly what the Warriors did, as he said. So Ja's going to score 38 in a series. And then the others aren't really going to get a rhythm going. So I just don't believe in the Memphis Grizzlies for that reason. I think if they had one more guy, I think they're good. But I just don't think it's there yet.
I think they're super legit.
So you think they're a title contender?
Yes, I do.
Fair enough.
I think Ja Morant can be the best player on a championship team.
They're title contender. I think, like I said, like last week, like one through there's like 8 teams in the West who could win the West.
It's so odd because like, yes, but I'm not considering everyone a title contender. You know what I mean?
No, there's only a few teams who can match up with the Celtics, Bucks, and Nets. But in terms of winning the Western Conference, any of the 8 teams could win the Western Conference. None of these teams, other than the Warriors, have proven anything in the playoffs. Aside from maybe the Mavericks, because Luka Doncic is the best playoff performer of all time, honestly. The Suns, maybe, because they went to a finals. But, I mean, the Clippers have shown to choke. The Pelicans haven't done anything in the playoffs. The Nuggets haven't done shit in the playoffs, really. They had that one good bubble year, but that's really it. The Grizzlies haven't done shit in the playoffs. The Clippers choke. The Kings haven't been to the playoffs. The Blazers are the Blazers.
Yeah.
Blazers are the Blazers.
Blazers are the Blazers.
And that's a testament to how good the Warriors have been over the last decade.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
None of these teams have done shit in the playoffs. So.
For sure. But yeah, that's what I got for the Grizzlies.
The 2 seed in the East,
Hit on the money.
the Brooklyn Nets. No flaws. Best team in the NBA. If there was a flaw, it's going to be size, but
Yep,
I think Claxton, Simmons, and KD could hold it down. So I have no flaws for the Brooklyn.
Yeah, I
Nets.
put just the backup center and possibly one more wing defender, but that's all I really put for them. And those two are like completely thrown out the window. Honestly, you don't need to do anything like that. I just put that there as
something.
Yeah,
I mean, I also had no flaws.
Best team in the NBA.
Yeah, it's
go check out the
scary.
Chris's Hoops Corner. Just made a video about them.
Yeah,
being the best team in the NBA.
I mean, the Nets could use a backup wing or a backup big, but it's not a necessity. That's not keeping them from winning the title.
No, you could get away with the KD and Ben at the 4 and the 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
especially with how the NBA is now, Ben out of 5 is right. NBA's pretty much
against backups.
It's limitless.
Yeah, it could work. I mean,
there is no set positions.
No, yeah,
and Ben Simmons could guard 1 through 5.
It is tough.
We established that. Ben Simmons is one of the best friends in the NBA
for sure.
Yeah. All right, moving on. The 2 seed in the Western Conference, the Denver Nuggets, sitting at 22-12. The Nuggets need a rim protector that could play alongside Jokic, self-creation out of Jamal Murray and Jokic, and more defense on the perimeter. A bunch of flaws in the Nuggets, man. Mid.
Yeah, I put defense.
I put Jokic getting exposed on defense sometimes, and obviously because we said fatal flaw, and that is their fatal flaw. If they are going to have a downfall, it will be because Jokic is just continuously getting exposed.
That's why I think they need a rim protector who could play on the court
like a Jared Vanderbilt.
Right? Yeah.
Jared Vanderbilt would make a lot of sense.
Just a back line of defense for when he's getting beat off the dribble. But no, there's a blueprint to beat the Nuggets. Just go at Jamal. Honestly, Jamal Murray too. Jokic, Jamal Murray, and MPJ, because none of those 3 guys could guard shit. So
yeah, I mean,
at least the Mavericks have defense, man.
They do have some defense.
But yeah, that's all I got really on the Nuggets.
Yeah,
it's just that
these teams are just minor fucking tweaks that if we have to make them, we can.
Yeah, I mean,
I think these are big tweaks for the Nuggets.
Oh, for the Nuggets,
I stand on this.
It's just jam my
there is
the
a
Nuggets.
clear, the Nuggets roster as is. There is a clear blueprint on how to beat them in a 7-game series, and I mean, they're 3 players, like I just said, Jamal Murray, MPJ, and Jokic will get exposed, especially by some of these teams in the Western Conference.
Can't wait till the playoffs, bro.
They
need a Depoy level defender next to Jokic because that's the only way to hide that. Yep. No, you're right.
I don't think it needs to be completely hidden, but it because of how good they are offensively, you don't need. I don't think you need a Depoy level defender because, like I said, the Nuggets are so good offensively, but you just need some type of.
But if you have that, then it's
then they're the title favorite.
Yes.
But
yes, I agree.
But just some type of backline defense when Jokic is getting exposed, when MPJ is getting exposed, when Jamal Murray is getting exposed would help that team immensely.
I agree.
Moving on, the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics at 26-10. I think the Celtics could use another wing creator off the bench. I think, you have a great guard rotation with Brogdon, Smart, and Derek White. You have a great big man rotation with Grant Williams, Al Horford, and Robert Williams.
Chewing on the wire,
but then the wings, obviously you have the best wing duo in the NBA in Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But then outside of that, you don't really got nothing there because I don't classify Grant Williams as a wing. Grant Williams is a big man. He's a small.
He could guard. He could guard wings. But yes, you classify him as a big man.
Yeah, so I think they could use another wing who could just come in off the bench and just get a bucket.
That's fair.
If I had to come up with a flaw, that's what I would pick. But this was the only team in the league that I put down. They have no flaws.
Yeah, this was my 3rd and final team that I said had no flaws.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, another backup going off the bench that could just go get you a bucket is good. But Jaylen Brown, Jason one of them will always be on the court. He'll create the shots and run the offense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
As
Malcolm
you
Brogdon
said,
and Marcus Smart
the backup guard play they have is
Derek White.
Yeah, very good. Also helps with the offense. I think the Celtics are perfectly fine where they are.
I think they have the ability to play any style of basketball that is necessary.
I think they should keep the team exactly the way it is. Just the chemistry is perfect. Everything about this team right now and what they've built is working. It's
maybe
what
a Jakob Pertl, and I know that's a name everyone says, but he would fit well. Yeah, he
I
definitely
don't think
would.
it's worth it for the Celtics to give
But
up assets for Jakob.
I
No.
agree with that.
I-
Exactly. When you
yeah,
have
that's
a
what I was gonna
guy
say.
like Robert Williams and Al Horford,
yeah, you keep the team exactly the way.
Yeah,
it
I
is.
agree.
I think
I-
the Celtics should stay like this for a while.
yes, I agree with that. This is the only team I said no flaws. So
And then lastly, the 1 seed in the Western Conference, the Pelicans, also at 22-12. Pelicans, I have rim protection, question mark, because I couldn't really think of a flaw for the Pelicans,
Yeah,
honestly.
it's,
Pelicans are
a really good team.
up there with the Nets and the Celtics, in my opinion, in terms of the most complete teams in the
Yeah.
NBA. Maybe not the best,
But most
but
definitely
most
complete.
I think it's them three on a tier of their own.
Roster goes 10 deep.
I put
More than 10
more
deep.
than 10 deep. They go like 13, honestly.
11.
I put you need to figure out the crunch time minutes with Zion and Brandon Ingram because, and obviously I don't think it's going to be as big of a problem, but I just needed to come up with a flaw because I really couldn't find one.
Mhm.
This was another team where I was going to say get a shooting big next to Zion, but at the same time, the Larry Nance and Zion minutes have been unbelievable. So you really don't even need to do that at that point.
Jackson Hayes just came back. He's been incredible.
Yeah, Jackson Hayes has been solid. There's just so many guys on this team. So I just figure out the crunch time minutes between Zion and Luka. That would be a fucking crazy duo. Between Zion and Brandon Ingram. And that's really it.
Deadpool says Valanciunas is going to get exposed in the playoffs the same way Jokic has been getting exposed the past
Which
2-3
is true,
years.
but you could go to Larry Nance.
Facts, Deadpool. Jokic has been getting exposed.
But you could go
Not
to
Luka.
But you can go to Larry Nance. So you have the ability to play whatever style of basketball
And
that another team plays as well. So
The Pelicans, although the defense isn't the best, it's a lot better than the Nuggets defense.
no, you have defenders. You have defenders on that team.
I
You
mean,
have Herb
that
Jones,
was
you have
that
Trey
was one of
Murphy.
my flaws. I mean, Chris touched on the rim protection. That's one thing they need to, well, not need to, would help if they fixed. Their defense is kind of middle of the pack right now. Offense is obviously top 5 in the league.
Then their defense is actually
it's around-
close to the top 10. I think it's
No, it's middle of
closer.
the pack.
Is it?
Yeah, I was looking at stats all
I mean,
day.
look, I really don't see a weakness in that team.
No.
Like I said, the Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, who's taking the ball in the clutch? It's that simple. That's what I
Homie,
boiled it down to.
what are you crying about, dog?
But yeah, so that's every team in the NBA and their fatal flaw.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hope you guys enjoyed.
yes, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, please do leave a like on the stream. We're not closing this off just yet because we have one more segment.
Oh yeah.
And Ortiz, what segment is that?
NBA career over unders.
All right, so it's just me and Chris today. Gallo, you can play along too. We'll say what Gallo does.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, you want to
Should we set him up?
Should we set him up?
I mean, no,
Yeah,
because we have to move
move
the
the
camera.
camera.
That is
You'd
true.
be-
That is
there
true.
we go.
Unless you
along.
want to stand behind
Nah,
us.
we gotta show us the logo.
Before we end, we'll let the camera see you.
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
Before we end.
All right, Gallo's gonna play along. We'll say what he says. So
First one we got is Crazy Eye Bobby. Career game started. The line's at 125.
over.
Under.
Over is correct at 128.
Wow.
Jamal Murray, career 3-pointers attempted. The line's at 2,000.
Attempted.
Attempted.
Over.
Over.
Whoa.
You all say over. The under is correct.
Oh,
1990.
shit. Damn it.
Oh man. Oh, I thought this TV screen went off. We're good. Yusuf Nurkic, career free throws attempted. The line's at 1625.
Wait, what was it?
Career free throws attempted.
Who is this?
Yusuf Nurkic.
And what's the line?
1625.
Over.
Over.
The under is correct at
Fuck.
1623. Mike Conley, career game started. Line is at 1,000.
Over.
Over.
Under 947.
Oh my god.
I got some good ones here for you guys today. Wow.
Gallo has the most with 2. Me and Chris each have 1.
JaVale McGee, career minutes played.
Yo,
The line's
Deadpool,
at-
you're kind of killing it, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
14,200.
Wait, what was that? My fault.
Career minutes played for JaVale McGee. 14,200.
Under.
Gal said over. You said under. I'm going over.
Chris, you have won. The under is correct at 14,172
Was that the last
minutes.
one?
That was the last one.
They're tied with 2.
Yeah, but Gallo doesn't count.
Okay.
Sorry,
well,
Gallo.
That's fucked up.
Well, if
Sorry,
if
Gallo,
he's
I
not on
tried-
camera, it doesn't count.
Tried giving you credit. But yeah, so that's everything for today. Go watch Chris's videos. Go watch my video. I need to get consistent with posting.
Yeah, you
I'm
do.
kind of fucking myself over here, but whatever, man. Go follow this. There's 2 people currently watching. Thank you to the
Shout
it
out
says
to
3,
the-
but thank you to the 2 who are here. JaVale been having years playing like 10 minutes a game. It had to be under. That's
Yeah.
very true. But yeah, go subscribe, click that fucking bell, and please do like the stream if you liked the stream. And
Just like
hit
it
us
anyway.
up on all our
Doesn't
socials.
matter if you didn't
Go
like it.
follow
Just
us
like
on
it.
all our socials, on all of our individual socials as well.
now
That
have 4
includes
viewers.
Gallo. That includes Gallo.
Yeah.
So go follow Gallo on all of his socials. His link will not be in the
No,
the
but I'll tell you
description.
guys, it's at JG, the Prince of SI.
Okay, it's not at that. I think it's Joe. What is it?
Joe Gallo 11
Joe
_20.
Gallo _20. Whatever. Go follow that.
BallGame,
Follow us.
BallGame.
Thank you guys for watching. There's Gallo.
Hi, Gallo.
How
BallGame,
adorable is that face?
BallGame.
Take care, guys.
BallGame.